exciting is the news for Ash being part of Star Atlas team. Like, congratulations, Ash.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Some
Ronan.
might say she was the unofficial queen of Star Atlas, but god damn it, she's now the official queen of Star Atlas. Let's go. Hundreds in the
I'm
chat.
officially official. Thank you. No, I'm excited to join the team and do this with all of you guys. So it's awesome.
Official
I see
Star
a lot.
Atlas Queen. That's the job description.
That's my title. No,
Title.
Exactly.
my
Yo, while
title's
we,
actually the Metaverse Media Host, but I like the Star Atlas Queen. Maybe we
I
can
think
take
it's
that one
Star
up. What
Atlas
do you
Queen.
think?
It's definitely that. Let's do this real quick. Now that we have you and I see that it's recording, just
Yes.
give us like an intro, like, or just give us a speech. You know what I mean? Give us a little happy speech to be a part of the team and what it's like to be the queen. Let us,
Oh,
yes,
God.
queen. Tell us.
If there's anybody, real quick, if there's anyone in the audience that wants to come up, go ahead and raise your hand and I'll bring you up. I see Aaron's down there, PG, Egonaut. I see Jay. So we're just going to be chatting with the community tonight, talking about some of the updates that Mike and everybody covered in the town hall. Just kind of chilling and, vibing out. But yeah, no, I'm really
Speech.
speech. I don't know. I'm really excited to be on board with the team. I think that this is going to be awesome. We're just going to be doing some great community events, creating some video content for everyone, and just helping everything grow as a whole. And I'm just really excited. And to be honest, I'm kind of blown away that it's still real. But I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm just really excited. Sorry, I didn't prepare a speech or anything, Moon Man.
No, you did beautiful. You're all right. You're all right. Everybody give it up to her. Hundreds in the chat. She's been working hard. She's about to skyrocket now. We're not even gonna know who she is anymore. Like she probably
That's
isn't even gonna talk to us anymore. She's about
oh
to get
please,
huge.
oh please, you
I'm
guys.
gonna get rich and act like I don't know nobody.
You will always be my people.
Exactly.
Don't even. That's too funny.
Hilarious.
Let's see. I see Alessio in there. You want to come on
And
up,
shout out to
Don?
Ronan. Shout out to Ronan for coming through with those extraordinary questions to
Dude, if I
chat.
could, I
You killed
would
it, man.
pick his brain even further. You have no
Oh,
idea.
we already know. Yes.
I have so many questions still like lined up, and I would love to pick his brain even further because there is an insane amount that is actually given but not clarified. But it's for us to also speculate at the same time. So I'm happy about that, but boy oh boy do I have a ton of things to think about.
So do you hear that? Chip's in the audience right now. So if you hear that, Chip, Ronan's coming for you at some point.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I already
Chip,
set the friend request and everything like that. That man needs to know if he accepts that there's a bombardment coming your way.
when
Yo, he's gonna
Michael
be
said
popping up in a
that,
bush outside his house. Yo, delivery.
oh yeah.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
When Michael said that Chip was going to be answering some questions, and I saw Ronin's hand, oh, I had to do it. I had to do it. Like
Yeah, you know
nobody
already,
knows more
Shanti.
about Star Atlas ships than Ronin, and so yeah, I had to do it.
That's the truth.
As he was explaining a lot of the things, more and more things just clicked in my head as he was saying all these things, and I was like, "What? Now I need to know more." Because I mean, there's still like the whole thing of like the outside factions and things like that, and so on. And obviously, like with the whole stuff with the ships, obviously not all coming in at once, and so how I think it will most likely play out and so on is how most of the beginning ships will come in most likely would just be aligned towards what each faction has, for instance. And like the Pierce, the Busan, and the Visa, for instance, those would be the three category ships that would come into play first. And then later on, you would introduce like the Calico line, the Ragika, the Opal, and then and so on. And then much further down the line, which I think would be like cream tier one, would be all of like the medium to high risk zone ships would come into play then over there. So
So,
I think it would go down.
so Ronan, Chip just joined us.
Yo, what's
Oh
up,
yes,
guys?
please. How are
Hi,
you?
Chip. Thank you for
Hey,
hopping
Oh, here
over
we
with
go.
us.
yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I couldn't get enough on the town hall. I've been thinking about this stuff for months, and I'm like, wow, I finally talked to people about it. So,
Well, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people willing to pick your brain if you're willing to talk about it or what you're allowed to talk about. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'd be down. So I I guess I'll answer Ronan's question that I just heard about. I guess the which ships will be craftable and when, and I guess I said that there's going to be a few ships that are going to be available with Cream V0, and the reason why I said that is because Cream V0 we're not going to be able to implement the manufacturer loyalty accumulation as part of that initial delivery. That's going to come later, but also manufacturer loyalty accrual is going to be tied to some ship missions as well. So what the idea is, and I guess I'll just drop the alpha here because why not? Is since Fimble is kind of like the base ship manufacturer, the one that's not really aligned with anybody and is the simplest to build. Those are is what we're thinking will be the ones you'll be able to craft first. And as of now, there's no Fimble um, base Fimble ones for sale yet, but some of you might have seen some of the Fimble ones out there. I've seen some leaks out there, so you might know which ones I'm talking about. But yeah, we have some in the pipeline, and those are the ones I'm advocating to be the ones we allow to be craftable in V0.
Oh, that's awesome news to hear and everything like that. Thank you for sharing that. Something along the lines that I just want to find out as well is because obviously the entire game is going to be produced, obviously, like most games or websites would do, and they would come out in different versions because of the browser initially, in a sense. And what's his name? Cream Tier Zero would be technically version 1.0. In the time that Cream comes out in phase zero, it would be 0.0.1, for instance. As time goes on between 0.0.1 and then to version 1.0, would we be getting updates as that time, as the periodical time goes on to the end of the year till version 1 comes out? And as that time goes on, would we see more of the loyalty thing come into play then?
Yeah, so the the thing that's hard to see behind the scenes is how complicated it is to do all of these things on the blockchain. It's really simple to just concoct a crafting mechanism in like Unreal Engine 5 where you put in base reagents and pop out a product. But doing something like that on the blockchain in a secure way that's not exploitable, there's a lot of thought that goes there. So what we're limited by this mini game, and these mini game deployments are really our kind of our R&D playground. Is okay. What mechanisms can we deploy sooner rather than later? So we have to break things up. That way we can get things out faster. So yeah, while crafting is going to be in Cream V0 and some base ships, we won't necessarily have like experience accumulation with manufacturer loyalty available. So that'll come later, and then with that, you'll be able to start accumulating loyalty and crafting more of the more advanced ships over time.
All right, that's actually so cool. Just to touch up on one of the things that I know a lot of community has been asking because what we've seen as of late and so on, obviously with the high demand for ships right now, the prices of your lower down ships, which is your $20 ships, have been going up slightly in price. And for unfortunate communities where they don't earn that much in those sectors and so on, with Cream Tier Zero, would we be able to contribute more to adding more supply for those lower class ships to bring the pricing down to be able to meet most of the demand for those countries which don't have the opportunity to basically get $100 ship and rather a $20 ship?
Yeah, I hear that, and one of the things I do think about regularly is lowering the barrier to entry for players. So we're thinking about how we're pricing land, and we actually want the base tier of land to be pretty cheap, so that you're even cheaper potentially, even cheaper than a Pierce X4 for the just one the base tier of land. And then we're also with the thimble line, the extra smalls. Those will probably be pretty cheap as well. So a player with Cream V0, coming in, will have two options really. buy a cheap ship off the marketplace. Actually, well, multiple options. So buy a cheap ship off the marketplace and put it in score, or buy land and a cheap land plot and have some, a small mining operation built up over time, or potentially even buy some crafting reagents off the marketplace and then craft some things or produce some things and then sell those on the marketplace for profit, because they would essentially right there they would be not subsidizing, they would essentially be using their time associated with crafting things to to be able to sell things for a higher price. So maybe if it takes 12 hours to refine this one reagent, a player goes and buys some and does it themselves and then can sell it for a profit on the marketplace. That'll also be a potential entry point to the game. So there's just going to be more options.
Yeah, and that's amazing, and that's awesome to hear, because a lot of people do ask within it, like whether it's Twitch, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Discord, and so on. They're asking always about like the prices and so on, and we're always just wanting to include more and more of these people in this environment, because at the end of the day, it's not everybody for themselves. It's one for all and all for one. And we want to make sure that everybody has that extra bit of inclusion in everything that goes on within this stuff. So that's awesome to hear. In regards to the whole crafting aspect and so on, now, okay, wait, no, this would be a stupid question because it would be already answered, because most of the material would anyway go to a space station. So nah, don't worry. If somebody else has a question, you can throw it right at him until I get my next one.
Hey, I have a question on a different line. So the photoli are beings made of light that you said, right? And they have advanced technology?
Yes.
Yes. So they're the Ascended or the Ori?
Yeah, and you saw in some of kind of analogous, but you saw in what, if you've looked at the posters, there's that one poster where it's like R visits Earth or something, and he's kind of like this ancient creature that guides the humans towards some a new kind of path, a new fate a little bit. So that there are these ancient creatures that we don't really know what they want. That's a little bit cryptic. But when they do ask you for things, you have an opportunity to build some loyalty with them, and they'll reward you with some ancient technology, i.e., rainbow. But that doesn't preclude other potential technologies that they'll give you access to. So,
like a map to the diamond planet?
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe.
There's a lot of options, and we're still in the conceptualizing phase. But the Vitoli are going to be one of those. Like, did you play Destiny?
No, I've seen it. I don't play it.
Well, those who have, there's like Zor that shows up every week. He's kind of like this weird guy that comes around every once in a while and has these exotic weapons that you can sell. Well, Fatoli, not necessarily the same concept, or not necessarily the same execution, but the Fatoli is like they're these cryptic beings, and there'll be some time-based events and things and they'll give you access to things. So
nice. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Hey, how's it going? I had a quick question for Chip. Thanks so much for sharing all this alpha, and to Ronan too, because he's asked a lot of the questions I've had. But I wanted to touch, maybe if you could share some more on potential timelines, as far as you mentioned, it might take 12 hours to mine a certain commodity that then could either be used to, do whatever process that you had mentioned, also with like the 3D printing to make the ship, or selling it to someone that was then just going to take it and then make it themselves. So I guess, could you elaborate maybe more on some of the timelines for the actual crafting on top of the actual mining?
Ship crafting, ship manufacturing is intended to be a gradual unlock. So it's not gonna be something that players with Cream V0 are going to be able to start doing on day one. There's gonna be a spin up time associated with everybody getting their mining operations down and mining some of the base reagents, upgrading their things, getting just there's gonna be progression there. So ship manufacturing is going to is going to be a while to unlock, and then when you do unlock it, the printing of ships, that'll be a significant amount of time. So maybe an X4 will take out on the order of hours, but when you get up into the Capital, Commander, and Titan ships, like we're talking potentially is a month to print one of these ships, because we want to respect the fact that these are big ships, that they're worth a lot of money, and we want it to be a significant amount of time to be able to craft them, and a significant venture and potentially a joint venture amongst the DAC. So
Yeah, for sure. That sounds great. And I like the leveling up aspect of, working your way to becoming a manufacturer before you can actually do it.
yeah, so I imagine players are going to specialize in their manufacturers of choice. You're going to have DAC members that have ascended way into the loyalty trees of certain manufacturers, and that they'll be the go-to members that can craft these certain ships, and other players will craft these certain ships, or other players will be able to be farther along in the even the land operations, and we haven't even talked about crafting gear, crafting modules, crafting components, crafting modifications to those. There's a lot there, and we're just breaking it's just the tip of the iceberg with the Cream V0 and ship crafting.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have another question to throw your way. So we see, as I see in your paper and so on, it says tofu is within the high risk zone and everything. Now, obviously, for newer players who enter the game and everything like that, I'm obviously thinking that you guys would have a restriction towards what new players can obviously go to in the beginning, so that they can understand more of the basics of the game and everything like that, in order to basically get to the point of being able to go and visit the tofu. Would there be a basically like I would say like a loyalty restriction, for instance, until they get to a certain loyalty that they understand like most of the game, most of the missions, how their ship operates and everything like that, before they would given the opportunity to technically visit or operate or associate with the tofu or any of the medium to high risk zone factions, minor factions?
Tofu sounds delicious right now.
Right? And you make it's actually too far, but
Yeah,
I
it's
call
too
it
fun.
tofu.
Yeah, and then I've been hearing people call a rainbow om the block of cheese. I get a kick out
I
of that.
it is amazing piece of cheese. I'll tell you what,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
Looks like liquid cheese right
It's
there.
exotic cheese. It's been
Yeah,
aged for millennia, actually.
yeah.
Um,
It's too black. I don't know if it's going to be tastable anymore. But I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah. I'll be candid. So it's not clear how we're going to implement medium risk zone and high risk zone gameplay in the minigame yet. We're thinking about it, but so yeah, what would it mean if we're in the period of time where we're still playing the minigame and Unreal Engine 5 is still we're still working on deploying that. We haven't fully solidified the concept behind risk gameplay via the minigame, because we know what it'll look like in the full vision of the game in Unreal Engine 5. So it very well could be that you don't have access to these manufacturers that exist in the high risk zone and medium risk zones until we implement that gameplay, and you really can only level up the cop factions manufacturers. That's still
yeah,
being worked out.
yeah. No, well, it makes 100% sense, because like people won't understand the concept behind it as of yet, and also with how the production would come into line with that as well. So one other thing in regards to medium to high risk zones, for instance. Now, obviously, they've been released over there within your paper and everything like that. Is that also going to be associated with land, or would that only come around, say, like Cream Tier 0 Phase 1?
Cream V0 will be predominant will be security zone.
Okay.
So, and then we'll go from there. Potentially, actually, yeah, it'll be security zone. I know that for a fact.
All right. Also, actually, something really really cool. I wanted to ask. Now, with obviously COP being the Council of Peace and everything like that, and each faction having their own major production line and everything like that. Now, for the future, would each faction have their only within their faction their own security, like the Council of Peace? Like, for instance, they would only have the Visas, or like the Mud would only have the Pierce within their faction region, for instance. And that would be the NPCs that would be protecting them, for instance. Or is the Council of Peace going to just be divided amongst mostly like Pierce and all of those lines? Because Pierce being a very big fighter line, for instance.
To my knowledge, the Council of Peace really likes the Pierce manufacturing line. I think there's
Okay, so
so
it'll
I
just be
think that
spread across everything.
yeah, potentially. You bring up a good point. In the Ooster sector, there you probably should see NPCs using visas more. Then and then Busan and Oni, and yeah, I'm well aware we don't have a Busan ship on the marketplace yet. So there was people questioning, well, why? How can you accumulate loyalty with Busan if they're not even on the marketplace or whatever? It's like, well we have ships spec'd out for them. We just haven't released them yet. So, but yeah, it would make sense that the three factions, you see more of those proprietary ships running around as well. So yeah, that's a good
Yeah, I
point.
was just thinking it might be like a cool like thing to think about and so on, because each faction having their own proprietary main production line would then have their own proprietary Council of Peace production or manufacturing ship, for instance, and so on. That would be a really cool idea. But obviously, the Pierce being a very powerful and mainly fighter orientated line already, would then obviously basically cancel out most of that, and being the majority of the COP basically NPC services.
Yeah. Nobody's pointed out that, or maybe everyone's read it, but nobody's talked about that. I wrote in there that Pierce is military tech, and then Busan is stealth tech, and then Visas is a mix of the two. Do you guys have any ideas on what that means? Like what that'll translate to?
I actually have a couple of ideas in how with Oni you have mainly they're a very diplomatic race. But because of the fact that they're diplomatic, it's mainly because of the fact that they got information on all of their side factions. And from getting that information would be because of the fact that they can produce stealth ships in order to get into regions and monitor people undetected, or monitor factions undetected constantly. And well, that's mainly for Oni. For Mud, basically with them the whole thing with leaving their planet and everything like that, I guess they want to just go in and they want to terraform the whole time with having their fighter line constantly. I think one of the two factions that would mainly be in conflict would be Mud and Ooster. And Oni would be the middleman between trying to keep the peace between everything, but at the end of the day, wouldn't be able to, because Ooster having hull reinforcement is basically almost an automatic counter to Mud's firepower, because if you're a tank and you can tank through most of the damage that's being dealt to you, and you can actually reciprocate damage almost equal or a little bit under equal value and so on, then you have an advantage over there. But with the firepower being in, like, say, the C11, for instance, against maybe say a C9 of Ooster, for instance, you may have like a whole thing that falls out, for instance, over there, where Ooster would basically lose at the end of the day. But I'd love to hear some more ideas.
I think I have a tangential thought, but I don't know if anyone else had ideas or has been thinking about that there's tech classes. I think we've talked about that a little bit in the foundation room, but we really haven't, up until now, kind of released too much information on that. But I'll just let anyone else say anything that they might be thinking about.
I have something to say real quick. Ronan, you seem to ask really, really good questions. I'm almost thinking like you're putting our mans through the ringer. So then it quickly popped in my mind, maybe you now have like yourself a new I don't know, YouTube channel or some style of like interview that's called Ronan's Ringer. And you just drill the newest people that come out over the years of Star Atlas team members,
It's the
and you just
initiation.
put them through like, yeah, exactly. You just put them through like an hour and a
Exactly.
half of just insane content, and then the Star Atlas team, their goal is to be like, you need to make it through this whole thing and give knowledge to the community, but don't drop an alpha. If you drop an alpha, you're off the team. You're out of here. So
You know,
Ronan's Ringer.
this is good
Chip, you're doing
because
great, man. You're
if
doing great.
I appreciate this because it's like, man, there's other people out there that think about this
Hmm.
as much as I do. So it's just
Yeah, for
So
great
sure.
They
to be
definitely
talking to this
do. In
community.
this community, everybody thinks about this as much as you do. So I hope you know what you're signing up for by coming up here on the panel, because they're gonna come at you with some questions, Chip.
Well, no,
no,
I love this.
It's
I've
lucky so
been,
good for the community though, because like we can
Yeah.
literally like that's all we want to hear is just more and more and more about the game. So this is
yeah.
great, dude.
I can definitely see
no.
that being a
I,
hashtag
Eating
going viral. Hashtag
listen
Ron's
to
Ringer.
everything changed. So does anybody else?
yeah.
I have a question. I don't know if you. Hi,
Okay.
guys.
Hi,
Uh,
PG.
Hi, how are you? Congrats. I'm
Thank
really happy
you.
for you.
Thank you
You are
so
doing
much.
a you are doing amazing job since day one. So it was only a question of time that you jumped to the team. We can see all that going that direction. Regarding my question, so we know that we're gonna have three factions. Each faction have three zones, and let's focus only in the medium zone. We're gonna know that in each zone you're gonna have regions, and if you're gonna start playing Grim, our planets and our lands that we're gonna use in some point in time they're gonna pass to the Unreal Engine 5. But because not all the regions they're gonna have the same materials, I'm a bit confused how we're gonna pick, because my idea was, okay, I'm gonna use my Vocus OPAD that can have the skill of scanning materials, and then I will pick the best planet. But now I don't know if I can do the same plan anymore. Or I'm being confused, sorry.
So there's two things there. I think I saw somebody ask, will the land operations translate to UE5? And the intent is that if you've built up over time, a long-term vision, if you've built up land operations in the mini game, those will eventually become 3D you will have 3D representations of it in Unreal Engine 5. And the second part of the question is how will you choose what planet to operate on? It will
Yes,
be
yes.
obvious that in Cream V0 what the planet's advantages and disadvantages are, and you will have an insight into it'll have these resources, and or maybe you'll just know like what resources are available and what kind of threats are there, but it'll be on the community to socialize. Well, these are the emission rates, just like Score happened. You'll have to you can you can interact with each other and figure out, well, how fast can you mine certain resources on these planets.
Okay, because even for the DAO, inside of each faction, we're going to have a DAO for each region. So in the mindset of the game and creating the best strategy, I can see that will be lots of different guilds inside of the same region. And then it's going to be really the DAO power that they're going to decide how the taxation is going to work. That's my point of view of the game so far.
Yeah, so with land operations in Cream V0, that there will be taxes associated with that land that go back to the DAO. Whether or not that DAO is at the fidelity of faction level yet, to be determined. But there will be implementations of DAO kind of revenue associated with Cream V0.
Cool. Pass my word.
Hey, so I got a really cool question for you. Somebody in the comments, they asked, could you eventually be able to sell real life 3D printable blueprints for all kinds of stuff, thus converting in-game assets to real world applications? It's just a really unique question.
That
Yeah.
I mean that hasn't been, we haven't discussed anything like that, at least not to my knowledge. But that's a really cool idea, and we have
Yeah.
I have discussed with team members have making things that happen in the metaverse or in our game impact real life, and not just like charitable, you know, crowdfunding and things, but potentially other initiatives that are DAO voted. So yeah, so but that's a cool idea. I'll write that down.
It sounds like a good thing the community could do as well. Like assuming that eventually we'll get to the point where ship skins are in the community, like something you can design, then those those blueprints may become public knowledge, and then anybody could take them and turn them into 3D printed stuff. As long like I get the feeling as we keep growing that we want this to be an open and extensible platform, and that people that have ideas like that should be able to come along and attach their ideas to what we're building, right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Now, when you said ship skins, though, I was thinking about when we're gonna have DAC skins that when you join the DAC, you can, everybody has to outfit their ships with the same skin.
Yeah, yeah. We're
That
already
sounds amazing.
Yeah,
already
I've seen
we're
some.
already
Let's
designing
go
our
have one, right?
Deep Profits. So we
Oh,
we have
nice.
artists designing ours. We just don't have the actual ships to put them on yet. So wait,
Ash, you're
we're
kind of
in the
glitching
queue.
a little bit.
Oh, I'm glitching. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
We
we
can
can.
hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say I think that that's a great idea. I know that Atlassian they have some that they've designed already, and then I've talked to some people who are interested in Star. They're in Star Atlas and they have their own NFT projects as well, and like that's something that they would really be interested in doing is putting their like custom ship skins on.
Definitely. Yeah, one of the biggest things that we're interested in long term is third party development, right? Like, so we want to build ship skins. We want to build skins that you can wear on your personal player, right? I think that's going to be really fun, right? Like, imagine, if you're in the Alessio family, we have a pinstripe mob suit that you could suit up in, or maybe some kind of like space mob suit or something. I don't know.
That sounds sick, actually. What the hell?
Yeah.
That sounds so nice. I actually had another question for Chris with all of this stuff. Sorry that I asked so many questions. I have a thing on Twitch that's like started this Tuesday, and I have a community over there that's going to ask me a ton of questions because of this town hall, and I have to I have to make sure that I bombard you with questions just to make sure that I have everything prepared for them on Tuesday.
You're good, man.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's going to be like there's a constant thing. You can ask Xcode. Every now and then I bombard him with a couple of questions, so he knows the feels.
It's your turn, Chip.
I feel it.
Exactly. It's like Moonman said. It's the Ring of Ronin. You are here. This is my domain now.
The Ronin Ringer. The Ronin Ringer.
Exactly. The Ronin Ringer.
The Ring of Ronin. I like that. The Ring of Ronin. Let's go, dude.
Let's go, bro. But so as we understand, with security zones going to be the first zones that are going to come into play with Cream Tier 0, and obviously land claims coming all the way up to Tier 5. Would that plan, obviously, with the security zones being Tier 0, you're gonna have like you're gonna be able to use your Tier 5 land claim stakes anyway. But as time goes on and we transition from Tier 0 to Tier 1 Cream, would we see a change in what tiers are allowed within certain zones, for instance? Would there be a restriction? Like you cannot use a tier like say 4 and 5 within the security zone. It needs to be within the medium zone and the red zone in order to allow people to, or in order to push people out of the safe zone and into the medium and the high risk zone, for instance.
So the plan currently is not to restrict which tiers you can put on planets. Like the starter planets, you can put up to Tier 5. What'll push players out is the fact that the starter planets won't be emitting the best resources or the fastest resource generation. So that'll be almost like the starter area of any MMO. That'll be the area where players kind of get started. They get understanding of the game mechanics, but to eventually venture out to other areas, and other areas are gonna just like other games. Other areas are gonna have different kind of influences. So maybe a different star system will have a lot of gas planets, or another star system will be just the resources will vary over time, and there will be plenty of motivation to venture away from the starter areas.
That's so cool, actually. Oh, one more. Sorry, last question, and then somebody else can absolutely take the wheel by all means, because I've done enough question asking then for one evening, I guess. There is so as a concept of a planet, and we've seen in a lot of the concept arts where the planets are being eaten away at the materials that that is being gathered from them and everything. Is there a plan put in place, for instance, where a planet could potentially deplete of its resources, and then, in a sense, force that player to move from that planet to the next planet, for instance?
Yeah, so that us being able to figure, like us in the blind being able to define the caps of resources without seeing how the economy pans out is really difficult. So what's going to happen is in Cream V0, it'll be uncapped, but with set emissions rates for miners. So we will know how fast a tier 1 miner mines iron and a tier 2 miner mines iron or aluminum. We'll know those numbers. We just won't cap the resources. But the intent, though, is in later later versions of the game, there will be planets that will deplete, and then they will have a replenishment rate.
Okay, cool. Which would then allow maybe, say, a bigger player to move off of that planet, go to another planet, and then allow newer people to come in and then take over the planet, essentially.
Yeah, it'll inspire exploration, but it'll also prevent these dead ghost planets that you never want to revisit again. Like, players will come back and it'll have replenished, and it'll be worth their time to
This is a little bit off topic, but
get
will
resources.
something like the Grenader be able to replenish an exhausted planet with like resources at our discretion, or is it going to be time based? Like, I know with the terraforming and stuff of that nature.
So terraforming a planet will change the entire ecosystem of that planet, and it might make it. So here's some ideas for everybody to think about. Like, it might make it that farming is more lucrative on that planet. And it'll be up to the landowners on that planet to terraform the planet. So I'll leave it at that.
Awesome, thanks.
Does terraforming take a certain amount of time? Sorry for another question.
Yes.
There's no
Okay.
stopping, Ronan.
Listen here, you said something amazing with the Grenadiers, and I never thought of that. And then I thought, wait a minute, if terraforming takes a certain amount of time, that means that a player could essentially, if they don't like the way that the planet was terraformed in a certain way, could they potentially do it again? For instance, they could terraform the planet again to get it to the sustainable or the ecosystem that they want.
The intent. I'll just say the vision is the intent is for players to be able to augment the environment, and there's going to be lots of ways to do that, and the Ecos line is one of them.
Oh my gosh! Okay, no more questions from me. I'm mute for the rest of the chat. You all have the questions now. I'm sorry.
Can we do questions about the showroom?
I know about the showroom, but I don't think I can talk about it. So that depends on the question.
It's not a question, only to confirm what Michael said in one of his last interview. He said that we can do a tour inside of the ship and do a flight test. Can you confirm if we're going to do a flight test, like a small flight test?
I don't think I can confirm functionality. I just know that the showroom is intended to show off your NFTs and see them in all their glory.
Frankie, did you have a question? I see your hand raised.
I do. First off, I have three things. Ash, Congratulations. Wow. All right.
Thank you, friend.
You deserve
Appreciate that.
because you've been working for free for this game now for how long?
Not
Absolutely.
free, because I've been building relationships with all of you guys, and that to me is so important. So, like, not for free.
Well, true. Okay, but I'm gonna leave it at that because it's let's leave it at that. You did it for free for a while. Still think you should be a godmother, but we'll leave that alone too. The second thing, um, Final Frontier, what they're doing tonight, phenomenal. Wow. I mean, this is a big Star Atlas night. This is crazy. And then Chip's brain, wow. Let's get a 3D map of that thing.
wait, what's Final Frontier doing? I feel out of the loop on that one.
They did an IDO tonight, dropping their
No. So we're doing the IDO tomorrow, 10 a.m., which is technically 16 UTC, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 16 UTC, and then if you're in the States, 10 a.m. CST, and then whatever other, but yeah, 16 UTC. We're doing our IDO for the front token. We had our seed round in the beginning. Now we have our IDO. It's a fair system, fair launch system. That's the way we wanted to run it. Give everybody a fair shot and just provide opportunity to the community. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Frankie. Frankie's the man, yo.
Yo, you're my boys, man. You're my boys. You're my goombas.
You're the real one, man.
Yeah, and you guys also did a really awesome giveaway today. Ardo likes to surprise everybody when you have community events, and he always ends up doing these really cool giveaways, and they're really fun, right? You guys had a little trivia night going on, and he gave away some Frontier tokens, and it's always a great time hanging with the friends.
Shout out to Don Kane for co-hosting that and really like just working that whole system. So yeah, that was amazing that you hopped in there.
I didn't know, but every single time I go into a Twitter Spaces that Ardo's hosting, he's always like, Don Kane, you got to come up here. Come on, man. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Always. Your family, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he actually gave me, he's sending me 500 front, and we're going to do a giveaway inside the Alessio community for that front. FRNT.
Very cool. So Alessio has the giveaway of the Frontier token as well?
Yep. It's going to be internal in the Discord, so if you want to be a part of it, you're going to have to join the Discord.
You're going to have to hop into Alessio's Discord.
Yep.
See what the family's
You ain't us.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, I do have a question before Ronan asks another one. And
I'm sorry.
Ronan. No, man. Listen, man. You put out such great stuff, man. I mean, I'm glad you're asking questions because you come from a place, God knows. I mean, I another brain. It's just so many damn brains around here.
I'm so sorry. It's so many questions, though.
No, they're good ones. They're great. But this branches off of something that Ronan had asked about entry. One of my personal goals is to branch what we're doing here into mainstream, bring mainstream people in. And obviously that's a rough road, but through educations with guys like Ronan with the content he's put out there, Star Atlas Theory. I mean, there's so many, and Moon Man. I mean, everybody's doing their part. I mean, the community is phenomenal. A lot of things that we've kicked around a little bit internally. I know Boot's on it with me, the bootlegger, bootneck. You know, he's been called quite a few things. The bull god. How about sponsorships?
Strong like bull.
He's the bull. I love bulls, so I'm really mad I missed out on that NFT so far. But I got to go with the diamond hand. It goes with the name. Sponsors, like there's things in Decentraland where they have poker coats and they help people from, I just the one case that I know is from Argentina. The kid's putting himself through college. He's paying his parents' mortgage. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And will there be an opportunity for us to be able to possibly be able to contract out ships we have? A lot of us have smaller ships, tons of them, and I think that would be a great entry point for somebody that may have internet but may not have the funds or the means. I mean, even $20 in some of these countries is a lot of money, and I think this would help us, as a DAC, as a game, as a community, to bring in people who may not have that, and you know what, we make a little bit of money off of it too, and I think it's a win-win for everybody. I was just wondering if there would be a way to do sponsorships where it's, ingrained, where it's not just me saying, hey, Bob, here's my ship, go use it, kick me back my 10%. Like the poker coats are actually made that way. And I'm not that familiar with them, so I'm just kind of shooting off the hip a little bit about it. But I mean, I think that would be a really fun thing to be able to do, even for members who may just not have the liquid right now to invest more into the game, but want to be a part of it, where we as a DAC or a member can set up someone.
So, no, I definitely resonate with the idea of lowering the barrier to entry for players. And I think our initial approach right now, near term, is to just lower the cost associated with having access to gameplay, whether that be cheaper ships or cheap land. But we are thinking about internally. We're not necessarily going to implement the scholarship medal, but we're thinking about how do we allow players to kind of get sponsored or get have access to uh, assets that they don't necessarily own yet, but they can generate revenue off of and start and build up a base kind of thing. So we're thinking a lot about that. We just want to implement it
Kind of like
smartly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually forgot my other question. So, oh, USD, because I know we were talking about skins, and we're excited about skins because how many space gangsters do you know out there, and it's a niche. Will there be able to? Are you looking at the USD type models for NFTs to kind of shoot in there, or something for skins or whatever it may be?
I don't think I understood the question. Can you say
I
it again?
think I may be terming it wrong. Is it a USD? It's some kind of universal code for, like, if you make something that's compatible with Unreal Engine, like a skin, like, in Blender or whatever.
Oh, like user generated content via
Yeah.
skins. Yeah,
Yes.
no, we're definitely thinking about that. We definitely want to enable user generated content, especially in Unreal Engine 5, because that'll just explosively expand our ecosystem faster than we can build it. So yes, we're thinking about that, and we want to enable that type of stuff.
Cool, man. Thanks. I could pick your brain for about 3 days.
Oh yeah, thanks for the questions.
Hey, man, I knew a guy that went through the same track, Air Force. Then he went over to Bowen and Ben Salem outside of Philly. And I mean, he was a smart dude, and he was nowhere on the level as you, man. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy. I never would have thought a year ago that I would have left my job in pursuit of something that I kind of was more passionate about. Like, don't get me wrong, I was building spacecrafts, cutting edge tech. Like, it was super cool, but I woke up every day and I was excited about crypto, man. So I'm like, I need to. So I what I did was I quit my job, and I was like, and they said we'll hire you back if you want to come back. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go take some time to figure out what I want to do. And I was like, well, I want to do crypto. I love games, and I have a space background. I like space tech, and I was noticing that NFT and crypto gaming was taking off or was becoming a hot trend. And then eventually I found Star Atlas and I reached out, told them, like, you guys are the intersection of everything I love, man. This is like my passion. And they hired me, and here I am. So it's been a blessing, and it's been a ride.
Brother, your story is familiar with all of us. That is just beautiful. And let me tell you something. In my eyes, and I believe others agree, you bring a very large amount of legitimacy to it. I'm getting over COVID, so don't mind. I'm a little hoarse, but you're bringing some real world stuff. Like, one of our members had said, I got a guy building real spaceships now building my spaceship. How friggin' cool is that? And I think it propels the whole community, the game, everything. I really appreciate.
I appreciate the kind words, man. That's really good to hear. And yeah, I'm passionate, and everyone on the team is passionate, and we just want to we just want to deliver the best experience for the players and just create this massive ecosystem. So, yeah, man. Thanks.
I do have a list that Ronan sent me over to ask you. No, I'm only kidding. I'm done.
Oh my gosh, please no. Like, I have a list, but gosh, I hope it's not that list. Moses, there's a ton of more questions, but boy oh boy, it's my time to shut up and let other people talk.
You know what was funny is I was talking to Xcode earlier this week, and I was like, man, I need to talk to the community about getting some ideas from them. Sometimes I'm thinking about how will I craft this, and I just you sometimes you get writer's block when you're trying to come up with something, and it's like it'd be nice to have just like a forum where I could just talk to people and be like, hey, I'm just spitballing ideas, and so it's nice to get my face out there with the community because I think that'll enable me to be able to start talking to you guys and when I need ideas, just go to the community. So
We
Yeah,
can
well,
create a
now that
chat with Chip channel on Discord.
yes, please do.
I'll just
Please
pop in
do.
I
there
will
and
be in
then
there.
it'll get flooded.
It will. I mean,
Yeah.
you should see all the
Yeah.
requests. Like I have so many people requesting to come up and speak to you as well. So I just want to say I see you all down there. I see your hands raised. I'll bring you up when I have a chance. I have kind of a full stage right now. I try to keep it around 12 because once we hit 12 at 13 Twitter spaces kind of start to wig out a little bit, so I'm trying to keep it around 12 speakers at a time, but I do see you and I will bring you guys up, I promise.
Yeah, on that front, I gotta leave. So
Yeah.
leaving my spot for someone. I order a triple cheeseburger to enjoy
Oh
my
my gosh,
Friday
why you
night.
make me hungry? Why you make me hungry? Why you
Sounds
leave me
delicious,
and
Santi.
now you leave me with a thought of
Yeah, man.
food, Santi? Why are you leaving me?
He's
I'm
getting
sad
that
now.
Star Atlas money. He's buying a
I
triple
could see
cheeseburger.
that.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
triple.
He's buying a
Spending the
Royale with
chips,
cheese.
spending Atlas
Oh
in
my
cheeseburger.
You,
god.
they need to put Atlas on DoorDash, man.
Exactly. Oh
Yeah,
my
That'd be
exactly.
god.
sick.
That's
No, but
awesome.
That'd be
look,
dope.
man, we're so glad to have you in this community. Really, like it's amazing to have more and more new faces, like Ash part of the team, you part of the team, and now actually being able to associate with you and being able to talk with you. How awesome is that? I mean, we're so glad to have you here. I'm going to continue bombarding you with questions always. So just be ready for that.
It's funny. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, but I think now is appropriate now that I've kind of established myself amongst the team, and so it's. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I'm just happy to be here. So,
Well, you're
Oh,
always
we're
welcome
so glad to have you.
to Chip. Always welcome to come up and talk. So,
thank you.
Hey guys,
all right. See you later, Santi. Have a good weekend.
Bye,
See you,
Santi.
friends.
bye
Bye bye.
Santi.
Your burger.
See you, Santi.
Hey guys,
Leave some
do
for
you mind
me.
if I pitch in real quick?
Who's talking right now?
This is Lumina.
Oh, hi, Lumina.
Sh-
Sorry, I didn't see that
hey,
you were.
hey.
Hi, how are
It's
you?
all right, it's all right. How are you? Well, first, congratulations again.
Thank you.
It's really great, and also congratulations to Chip too. I guess he just joined back in October or November. I think that's what he said. Um, if you don't mind, I do have one or two questions, Chip. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
All right. For those of you who don't know me, this is Lumina. I'm the guild master of Coexist, which is the biggest Turkish guild in Star Atlas. So Chip, so when you described when we read the notion today with the faction aligned companies and whatnot. Now we understand that we have to, if we are, like mud, we are aligned with peers and whatnot. But that's just a ship crafting. Now, how about the modules, like the turrets and everything? Are those going to be related to a faction alliance, or are those going to be separate? So
Dang,
that's the first
you're
question.
making me drop all the alpha, man.
Dude, that's what I do here.
Do
You have to
Yeah.
get used to it.
Okay. So there will be. So you're. I guess everybody's familiar that the components and the modules you'll be able to swap them out essentially,
Yeah.
and you customize your loadouts and kind of build a ship or customize it within boundaries of that ship, but you will be able to customize it to match your playstyle or the current meta in the universe, right? Well, certain manufacturers, as you increase loyalty with them, you'll gain access to maybe technologies that let's just do an example. Say Pierce is mud and mud. I don't actually do. Let's just do a hypothetical here. So
Oh,
mud
he almost
is
slipped up on some real alpha.
Yeah,
Of
no, that
course.
was
Here we
close.
go.
That
Let's
was
go. Let's
yeah.
go.
close.
Yo, how many hours have we been going?
Going,
So
Chef. What do
Be
you have for us?
yeah.
be
Oh,
nice
Lord.
to
Sorry,
Chip,
sorry,
guys.
sorry.
Be
You're good.
nice
You're
to
good.
Chip.
You got it.
Re- so as you increase loyalty with peers and you get access to new technologies or new kind of progression trees, maybe you unlock a ship upgrade that allows you to increase your firepower. Things like that. And maybe having access to that particular component or module or upgrade is only within the Pierce upgrade tree, and then you unlock stealth technologies within Busan. It's not just tied to the ships themselves, but the components and the modules and maybe the upgrades to those things will be exclusive to some of these manufacturer blueprints or technologies.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I take that. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Now, number two is this is from one of the AMAs that a few of the MMAs that Michael mentioned. You might not know this. You might. I don't know, but as we know that there's gonna be a first person view and then multiple views of our characters. Plus, he also mentioned that there will be an RTS style, a top down view of the game. Now, do you have any info on that?
Yeah, this is really important and something I struggled with when I came on the team. Is
Okay.
that I was like, oh, Star Atlas is going to be like basically Star Citizen at first, or No Man's Sky, where you can fly around in ships first person, and that's not necessarily that's not necessarily the way we need to be thinking about it. That's not so. Here's the way we need to be thinking about it. If you've played an RTS where it's top down and you control your units, um, I don't know if anyone's played Stellaris. That is closer to what the
Yes.
near term
Yes.
vision is, where it's top down unit management and almost like the term is macro, where you control like the large scale movement of your fleet, and then micro is when you control like the individual units. So that's what we're starting top down, like top down at first, getting that right, and then we will hone in on jumping into the ship, flying it first person. When you fly a ship first person, that'll be you'll have intrinsic buffs or benefits to doing that. However, your fleet at large will still be operating and doing what you're telling it to do, kind of thing. But so we're starting top down, and then we go down into the details of eventually having that Star Citizen vision. The problem with Star Citizen, as Dan is explaining to me, is they went bottom up. They try to create a sim first, and then now they're having problems with like scaling and the large the large the MMO elements of things. So we're doing the opposite. We're starting large vision top down, and then eventually adding fidelity over time.
That's really smart. I'm excited for that. Stellaris is it's a pretty cool game. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
Yes,
encourage
thank you.
Such a
people
smart move.
to. I definitely encourage like community members to go just look at some videos if they haven't played it on YouTube, just to get a sense of what the gameplay will look like in the near term, um, and use that as an analogy for when other people come in and are asking, well, what's the game like? The first thing I would say, I wouldn't be saying is Star Citizen. The first thing I'd be saying is Stellaris, and then over time, Star Citizen.
I see. Okay. Well, Chip, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. This was a great alpha. Lastly, if you don't mind, and you might not have to answer this, maybe the people in the crowd, the other guilds, might answer this question. Since we were talking about the faction pass for these faction aligned companies, now when we look at the marketplace, the only faction pass that we see is the faction meta pass and then the console meta pass. So there is really no just faction pass. So I would assume there will be a faction pass at some point.
Yeah,
So
that'll
these
come
are these
in
the
most
same
likely
thing?
later.
I haven't asked Danny too much about those faction passes. I know when we've talked, they will give you access to content locked behind being in that faction. I couldn't answer what exactly the faction meta pass or the council pass. It's been a while since I looked at them. What exactly they're going to do and how it'll function. So yeah, sorry, I really can't talk to it too much.
It's all right. Yeah. That's good.
So I
All
just
right. Well, that's it from me.
I do want to double back though, because I don't want people to
Yeah.
like go and look at Stellaris and be like, this game doesn't look like what I've been seeing in like our December teaser. The intent is we're gonna have high fidelity graphics, and you'll be able to zoom in and see every single detail of your ship and run around on it first person and things. I guess what I was really trying to say is that the gameplay at large, the core mechanics will feel more like an RTS, a grand strategy, and you won't be as consumed with your first person interactions. That doesn't mean you can't play first person. It just won't be your primary we envision players will be zooming out on the map and like hopping between planets and looking at their different like land claim plots, and their ships will be all over the place, and that zooming in and out from like top down to first person, like that will be the focus of the game kind of thing, of the RTS elements there.
This is actually like the largest alpha you could have dropped, because this now allows us to all, if anybody is smart, I mean, literally right now I'm installing Stellaris, and this is what I'm going to be playing in and what I'm going to be getting Final Frontier on and pushing everybody to do. I have, you know what I mean? I might joke around, I
I
might
already
get
had
big
it.
imaginations, but I do not play when it comes to taking that advantage and getting the job done in Star Atlas.
And
It's
Chip,
game
I'm really
over.
sorry. I hope I didn't put you in a bad spot by
Oh
asking
no,
this
I
question.
don't think I don't think I'm in a bad spot. And I actually really enjoy the opportunity to tell the community like this is closer to what your expectations should be and what the near term deliveries are going to be. I don't want it's not fruitful for everybody to be thinking Star Citizen near term when it's actually Stellaris near term. So that I think this is a great opportunity.
No, I think that's
Now,
awesome for sharing that with us, because when I do go on and talk to other communities about Star Atlas and the gaming NFT gaming space, they always want something to compare it to. So now I can throw out Stellaris instead of that. So thank you, Chip. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
yeah,
And then
thanks a lot.
real quick, I just wanted for everybody in the audience who has just recently joined us, a lot of the conversation that we're talking about right now has to do with the new update that Star Atlas recently released about the faction aligned companies. If you're curious about that, I went ahead and pinned some information at the top, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. But sorry, go ahead. Did you have more, Lumina? I didn't mean to.
Just one final thing, and has nothing to do with Star Atlas. We found out that you are an aerospace engineer.
Yes, I think I missed the rest of the question.
I think we might have lost you. Lumina, can you hear us? We cannot hear you anymore. Okay, I think he might have dropped, so he'll probably pop back in if he comes back with that question. I know, Iman, you have had your hand raised for a little bit. Did you have a question for us?
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. I'm not asking for really any alpha or anything like that, but just something like an idea I want to just throw up in the air is so going back to loyalty, manufacturer loyalty, crew loyalty, that aspect of loyalty. Now, for me, just to put in perspective, I come a very strong gaming background, like shooters to MMOs, all kinds of RPGs you can imagine, and which is why I love Star Atlas so much, because it is catered to a big gaming community. So it's really nice being new in the crypto community as well. In that respect, I was wondering the value of these collectibles you could find in the marketplace that increase crew loyalty slightly. And I was wondering, could this be applicable to manufacturer loyalty? Can crew loyalty apply to that, or are these like different skill trees? I'm not sure if Chip can shed some light on that, or if anyone else has any thoughts on that, because this isn't something that's talked about often, but it is in the marketplace, and like it's just there. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so when we do enable, so Cream V0 is not going to have crew members, but when we do have crew members, I think with Score V1, equipping them with these collectibles or these gear items that that increase their loyalty or their luck will give your ships and their crew just enhancements and buffs. And loyalty could mean faster manufacturer loyalty accrual, or it could mean more cohesiveness amongst your crew, and you get a buff associated with that. So there's a lot of options there. I won't give specifics on exactly what it's going to
Sure,
be, but
no problem.
they'll be
Yeah,
useful.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
Yep.
Very cool. So does anybody else, well, okay, I guess, does anybody else have any more questions for Chip? Ronan?
I mean, when
I
do I
have
not have
one.
any more questions?
Okay.
You can
I
go
have one.
PG first.
Yeah,
Go.
my question is very simple. This is regarding the badges and the posters. Chip, can you tell me if they're going to have any utility in 2022 or in the
Yeah,
near future?
you're gonna put your poster in your Rainbow art gallery, and you're gonna look at it every day. And
Yes,
yeah,
please.
I think that's about it.
Okay. And the
No,
badges?
no, there are there are going to be utilities for them. I'm not necessarily in the one setting those utilities, so I can't really speak to it.
All right, and since you're an astro engineer, are UFOs real? And since they are, can you give us any alpha on that?
Oh my, yes.
My
Please.
NDA with the military hasn't finished yet. Sorry.
So in a
So
few months
that's a
we
yes.
again. I'm just kidding.
I'm dead after that question. Oh, that's a brilliant question. Chip, I have a question. Actually, one of my friends were asking me, Samskara was asking me now, about the Jarvik basically faction. He had basically said that you were the one who last edited it and everything like that. Now, with Jarvik and everything like that, that faction being, oh, I think Jarvik having the Vic in it being a Viking, like kind of meaning behind it. So, can you elaborate a little bit more on what that faction's potential is going to be and everything like that?
So Danny's really the one that he's the brainchild behind the the Jorviks and what their lore is. I just know that what I wrote in the Notion doc, which is they're the they're the pirates, and they do smuggling, and they might have black market operations. Who knows? But they exist in those riskier zones, and if you do align with them, you'll get access to new gameplay. Just like when you in Elder Scrolls, when you join the Thieves Guild or the Assassins Guild, they have their own storylines and their own missions and gameplay associated with them.
That's so sick. What the hell? Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I think Luca came back. So did you have another question? Yeah.
Yes, Ash, thanks. And I'm sorry I got disconnected. And this has nothing to do with Star Atlas. But since we heard that you're an aerospace engineer, man, this might be you can take it as an informal request. But I'm a professor at a state college in the United States, and I actually work for the department is a College of Aeronautics and Engineering. We train computer engineers. We also train aerospace engineers, astronauts, pilots, and whatnot. So I was wondering if you will be willing to maybe attend to one of our classes as a guest speaker and talk about your experience in aerospace engineering and spacecraft design at our college via online.
I'd love that opportunity. I
Okay,
think the
well,
community wants me to get Cream out first,
all right. Well,
but in the future that sounds like fun, and I'd love to talk with the students or the faculty or whatever, and just share my experiences.
absolutely, Chip. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And thanks for the opportunity again, Ash. And I got to say bye to everyone. I got to go. Hang in there.
Bye, Lumina.
Bye, Lumina. Have a
I hope
wonderful
your
weekend.
daughter's doing well. Did you buy her an Opal Jet?
Yeah, I bought quite a lot. See, now after learning the faction alignment, now my guess is there's going to be a demand on Rainbow Chi and Rainbow Om and those type of shifts, I would assume.
Oh,
Not a
I'm
financial
telling you
advice.
now. Can I tell you now, right now,
Yeah,
since the tofu got declared as a tofa, sorry,
so
Moses.
far, yeah.
Yeah, got declared as a high risk zone ship and everything like that. Its price jumped by $70 already.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
I see that.
demand of the ship. Literally, price jumped by $70.
Yeah,
Wow, that's incredible.
it's crazy. All right, you guys have a great night. See you guys later.
Bye, Lumina.
Thank you
Have a good
too.
weekend.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good night.
I recently
Hey,
just brought up Metaverse Explorer. How are you doing, friend?
hey guys, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me up here. Pretty cool information, right? Am I right?
Yeah, this has been an awesome space so far. We're all excited to have Chip up here, just, answering everybody's questions.
What's going on,
Yeah.
Metaverse?
Thank you for
Fantastic
getting
video you
there.
put out the other day.
Hey, yeah,
Thank you,
thanks.
man.
There's like every
Great
day.
work.
I'm like planning my third video in 2 days right now, which is crazy.
You're
And
killing it,
planning
dude.
video.
You're the best in the market.
Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, lots of feedback coming through, saying people are really happy with it. So yeah, it's good so far. Chip, I have one really small question, not to take up a lot of time, but this is only slightly related. It's so the Tufa and the Ecos, they are factions, but Tali aren't really classified factions, and they're in the medium high risk zone. If you have loyalty with them, I know it's all in planning. Is the plan that if you have high loyalty with them, they might not attack you as NPCs? Which opens up a whole lot of gameplay mechanics that we can go to.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
That's been a thought.
So one guild can specifically go to being Ecos or Tufa friendly, like the highest affinity, and they could dominate that space and like go and mine the highest minerals in the place that's infested with all of these Tufa and Ecos.
Yeah, I mean, with let's see, we've thought about this mechanic. We don't want anything game breaking, but because here's a I guess an example. I would think that if you align with the Jorvik, you probably can't align with the Ecos. So then that means that you're probably going to get more aggressive attacks from the Ecos in that area, but you won't get attacked by the pirates. And
Yeah.
so things like that, there will be balancing mechanisms.
Yeah. But that being said, like if no one cares about Ecos and they go straight to Tufa, they go straight to Jorvik, then they can go and like base their entire guild in Jorvik heavy space and just dominate that space because it's full of Jorvik. But that is a possibility.
Yeah, and then you might kind of accumulate bad relations with the cop, and then things happen there. So there's trade-offs for everything.
No
I
problem.
thought
Makes
that
sense.
was the option. I thought that was going to happen because you're associating yourself essentially with a pirate. So then you're basically going to have bad associations with cop because at the end of the day you're positioning yourself in a position where you're saying I'm condoning what's going on here, and then cop doesn't like that.
Yeah, but we also have pirate guilds who might be heavily interested in this.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think that's an awesome mechanic as well. I think it's gonna be so cool.
It's like I keep using Elder Scrolls. You become an outlaw. You eventually all the guards just attack you on sight, kind of thing. So similar thought there.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't mean much for them if they have their own marketplace and they can transfer NFTs across blockchain.
Yeah, but then having access to the majority of players in the COP you might lose some of those benefits.
Yeah,
but we want to enable the outlaws and the pirates and people create their own kind of homes in the outer regions. That we want players to do that. So we're thinking carefully how to enable that.
Oh, good, man. Thank you very much for your hard work. It's really nice to have you. And I will.
Yeah, likewise. I watch your videos too. So
I thought you were mentioning me. Was it me you were talking about before?
I saw your video going over the
I knew that.
fact, and obviously it was a testament to how I wrote it because there was confusion there. So I was like, man, this is not coming through clear, especially the dual faction thing. So yeah, it was really helpful for me to see the video and see like, okay, these are kind of like the tripping points on understanding of this content.
All good, man. It's nice to have another viewer. Even though
Yeah. So no, but I definitely I love your stuff, and keep doing it. It's been great.
Thank you. And Ashes, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I brought up Drum Carlos from Deep Profits. I know you had your hand raised for a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm trying to filter everybody through as easily as possible to get you guys up here. I know there's a lot of questions and everybody wants to talk. But so did you have a question for us?
Yes,
Chip,
absolutely.
probably.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. Right. Well, first of all, congratulations for being upgraded to the Queen of the Community. You deserve it. You have done an amazing job since last year. It's been great. You always bring smiles to our faces every day with your posts. It's just a pleasure to follow you. And welcome,
Right.
Chip. It's been really thrilling to see what you're bringing to the game. And Xcode doesn't share a lot with us in the profits. So I always have to go to other people to pressure to ask Xcode questions. Anyway, I missed about 5 minutes of the town hall, so maybe this was covered in the town hall at the very beginning, or maybe Running already asked these questions. But for me, still a little abstract, the part of the land owning on the for this model zero of Cream. How do you guys envision this land process, the process of buying land, planet, slots? Is there going to be a map? Is it just going to be in the market? I just want to understand a little bit more how you guys are planning that without, having an official Unreal Engine 5 and an actual Star Atlas being released.
Okay, so yeah, this is important. There's two concepts of owning land. I guess owning in air quotes there. So with land claim stakes, the vision there is you're not buying land and owning it. You're staking. You're essentially like staking a land claim, and then that gives you, and then you pay rent or taxes, and that gives you the ability to be profitable and earn resources on that land. But then when you're done or you stop paying your taxes, your claim stake will get removed, and another player can come in and do the same thing. So that's not land ownership in the traditional sense. And so there's that, and then there's also going to be opportunities in the game to actually buy land or real estates or certain things that you can speculate on going up in value because of where they're located or what you can do on it. So, but Cream V0 specifically, you're essentially renting land, and by renting you get access to the minerals and the resources on that land.
So if I'm understanding this right, for score level 0, we actually are not getting involved in the process of owning land, but just a claim of stakes.
Yeah, you're in the traditional sense of the word, you're not owning the land. You're operating operating on that land, mining operations, and in order to have access to those operations, or in order to be able to do that, you're paying rent.
Because you guys talked about having planets and being like planet slots, and different planets will have different resources. Is this going to be part of the score of the Cream 0? I mean,
yes, all that's still the same. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that you're not buying the land and then able to squat on it or flip it for like the traditional sense of owning real estate. That you're actually renting out the ability to be productive on that land.
So if I rephrase this to choosing the land where you're going to put your claim of stake, I just want to I'm trying to imagine the interface based on what we have right now. And I don't anticipate that Cream is going to radically change the interface of the market and our tools. So this is the part I'm having problem to imagine how it's going to be that process to select a planet, if it's going to be available for everyone, if there's going to be kind of a first come first served or auction process? How is it gonna work? Or maybe this is just in conceptual stage still.
Well, no, we have ideas, and the thing is that that's all part of the the gameplay that's yet to be revealed. But what I've said to date though is that the factions are gonna have starter planets, and then eventually other planets will you'll have access to other planets over time, and there'll be different risks associated with those, and planets themselves will have different resources and um, different advantages. And when you stake a claim on a planet, you'll have an idea of what those resources available are and what the advantages and disadvantages of that particular planet are. So you won't be there will be an interface that you'll be able to select the planet that you want to claim a stake on, and then there will be we're in the design phase of that all those interfaces that you'll be interacting with.
That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
My second question is if you guys had a clear, well, I guess not because you haven't announced it, but do we know more or less how much are we going to have to wait for new ships to be released? Is it going to be weeks? Is it going to be, or at least for the timers to show in the marketplace?
I think that's up to Michael Wagner to release that information or comms, but I do know that there are ships coming. So.
And my last question is for Ashes. Do you happen to have a Spanish-speaking sister? We need someone like you in the Spanish community. We really do.
I do not have a Spanish-speaking sister. I have a sister, and I'm trying to get her involved in this whole space. I've been like dragging her into it as best as I could. I've got Kagi on it as well, but no, I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh, why? If one of your girls speaks Spanish and is really enthusiastic about Star Atlas, it would be awesome to have a nice face in the community, because I think we're lacking a little bit of that in the Spanish speaking community.
I will keep my eye out. Definitely, I'll see if I can find somebody for the Spanish speaking community.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ronin, and thank you, everyone else, for the amazing content you guys put up every day.
Thank you, Carlos.
All good, friend.
Mike, you changed your name on me, Mike. Lux.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I don't know what to call you now. Do I call you Lux? Do I call you Mike? You changed it on me.
Yeah, I changed my
Lux.
name.
No, go back to Lux, bro.
I'm
It'll always
thinking
be Lux to us.
I'm considering using using Lux for repurposing it for something else. So you might see it in the future.
Gotcha. Did you have a question for Chip?
Yeah, so I was kind of wanted to piggyback on what Metaverse Explorer, a question that Metaverse Explorer asked, and because I thought that I read in the document about about this, that like aligning with the minor factions will not affect your standing with the Council of Peace. Did I understand? But then I heard something about like if you like do too many missions for like one of the minor factions, then that might affect your standing with the Council of Peace.
Yeah, no, that's very very good thing you picked up there. So what I was trying to say is that because you align with Jorvik or with Ecos or with Tufa, that doesn't mean you aren't in Ooster or Mud or Oni anymore. That's all I was trying to say there. Like you still retain your base faction. You don't like have to resign your citizenship kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that your relations with your base faction won't degrade over time.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. I'm clear on that.
Yep. No, that's a good question.
Very cool. Is there anybody else that has a question? I have someone who does have their hand raised in the audience, and I'll bring you up in just a second, but I just wanted to make sure, is there anybody else on the panel that has a question before I'm going to have to drop somebody. So we're good.
You can probably bring them in. I think I have run out of questions for Chip as of right now, because I want to actually give him a break from my side.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
I know. I feel like
I
feel
think
like
I'm gonna take one more person with questions, and then I'm gonna head off
Shout out,
no
go
shout
get
out
a
to you,
quadruple
Chip. You've been
cheeseburger.
doing
realizing
great.
how much
Yeah,
everybody
you've
bombards
been
you with questions, Chip.
You're
No,
you're
no.
an
getting
amazing
there.
public
Well,
speaker
I
for the
appreciate
team.
it. Oh, well, I
Seriously.
appreciate it. This is cool. It's like my debut day, and it's been going well. So I appreciate all the support.
No, yeah, stellar performance, man. You're doing great. They couldn't have
We
chose a
love to
better
have
person, man.
another. We love to have another person on the team, and we love to be able to talk with them and get alphas. That's for
Exactly.
sure.
It's always
I remember when I wasn't part of the team, I just wanted to. I had so many questions. I wanted to talk to people, so I can imagine just thinking about it and playing speculating and finally getting a chance to ask questions. I, yeah, definitely can. I'm empathetic and I understand.
I brought up Mystic. Did you have a question or can you hear me, friend?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Hey,
can.
hey, hey.
What's up?
I don't have a question. I just kind of just wanted to chime in while Chip was here and just I just wanted to just say thank you. I mean, I really don't have any questions. I love hearing everybody else's questions because they come up with stuff that I wouldn't even think of asking. But I'm just every time we get this new information, I just get so pumped. So I just wanted to say thanks and I appreciate it and looking forward to what comes next.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, appreciate the support.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, I just had to drop in. I'm making dinner, so I'm gonna peace out, but I'm still listening.
All right, sounds good.
All righty, bye everybody.
Good weekend.
You too.
Cheers, man.
All right, so you want to grab one more question, Chip, and then we'll let you go on your way.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay, Serge.
Oh, hi. I have a question regarding the faction aligned companies. There's something that jumped out at me that was really surprising. There is apparently an 11th ship manufacturer, Fimble, and my question for Chip is how is that going to work since it doesn't appear to be aligned with any of the factions. So how is the loyalty um, for that chip manufacturer going to work, or is there no loyalty involved? Like everyone's going to have access to the full blueprints or whatever for those civilian ships.
Yeah, base Fimble is faction agnostic. You can be in any faction and have access to their manufacturing line. I still think there will be an element of progression associated with unlocking Fimble blueprints, but it might not be tied to loyalty. It might be tied to the facilities you have available to build the ships themselves.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, Chip, you have been an absolute rock star, entertaining everybody with answers, and we really appreciate you joining us. You're always welcome to come and join one of our spaces. It's been really cool to chat with you about all of the updates that have just been released. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thanks for having me on. And yeah, this opportunity to talk with the community is just great. I've been having so much fun today, and it sounds like, based on the feedback I got from the team, that they'll be bringing me on more often, and I'll be hopping into Twitter Spaces now and then. So yeah, but again, thanks everybody, and appreciate all the questions and more to come.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to it. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, you guys too. Everyone have a good night. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much. So was
What a
there
good
that was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 100%. Such an awesome guy. Like, oh my word. Oh, if I could prick his brain for a couple more hours, I would.
Well, like Moonman said, you need to have Through the Ringer with Ronan. I think that could be your new you could have like a day dedicated to that from your Twitch
Oh
series.
yeah,
No, for
100%,
real.
100%.
It
I
needs
have
to
to.
happen. That was an
No.
alpha. That was an alpha content drop
Oh
that I
no, no.
that I
Look,
told you.
we'll make it. We'll make it a thing. Whenever there's a new person who comes into Star Atlas, hello. Yes, your association is here. Oh, this is the queue. Oh yes, the ring with Ronan. You may go. Be careful. He asks lots of questions, and at the end of that, you see them like sweating out of that whole thing. Why does he ask so many questions? Well, that's the initiation, obviously. And then
They have the
and then it goes
face.
through
They
that.
have the face of Bubba Gump Shrimp on Forrest Gump when he's just sweating that
Exactly.
gift. Just whoa.
Exactly.
That's what
They
we're trying
come
to
out
put
of
the
there.
Star Atlas team on their toes, baby.
Exactly. Come out of there and like, yo, he asked this many questions and so on. Why didn't you give me a warning? There's no warning when going in with Ronan. He just comes up with all these questions. Don't ask it. Just
Nah,
accept it as it is.
yeah,
It's
that was
incredible.
amazing, yo. Chip is the
Like,
man, dude. Chip killed it.
it's the hazing round. No.
Exactly. It's like, have you gone around yet? You haven't? Still a noob, I see. You need to go over here then first.
That's amazing.
Have you sat at the table with Ronan?
Exactly. What a fine gentleman he is. Have you seen his lavatory of questions he has ready for you? He'll give you a glass of wine. By the end of that, you'll have gone through 3. But it's okay still.
He's amazing.
Okay. So there was a lot of other things that was also dropped at the town hall today. Does anybody want to talk on that? Right, there was I know this isn't like gameplay, but I'm kind of excited that they were talking about dropping some merch. I've been waiting for Star Atlas merch
Yes.
for a
Yes.
while. I know I've been bugging them about
Yes.
it a little bit too, but like I'm really excited for Star Atlas merch. Like I can now rep it when I go to the Clippers games or just out and about.
I cannot explain how badly I want Star Atlas merch because I literally want to go through the town or through the city, and then people ask me, "What is that?" And then I get to sit down and I talk about Star Atlas, and then the show starts and
And then
goes
you
on
can put
even
them
more.
through Ronan's ringer again.
Yes, exactly. But you must. It's crazy. I try to explain this concept to so many people, even in my country and everything like that. Not a lot of people understand the whole thing behind crypto and so on. But boy, oh boy, once they've gone through that, I'm pretty sure at the end of that entire discussion, their ears are ringing after that, after me having spoken so much.
Guys, I have the experience of I have merch from Solana, like a few polos and shirts. And when I walk in the street here in Sydney, I can see that some people, they know Solana and they do like that small smile. Oh, you belong to the club, like not the club guild, sorry, to the club of crypto and Solana. And I think when the merge of Star Atlas is going to be the same because you don't know the faces of all the players. You know the names, but you don't know the faces, and you're going to recognize people in the middle of the street by guilds or by only the game.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I have a funny story. Over Christmas, I went to a Christmas party, and I live in a town of 10,000 people in rural Ontario. Okay, and people were asking me how my new job was, and I said, oh, and I tried explaining it a little bit to them, and the guy was like, that sounds a little bit like Star Atlas, and I was like, wait, what? Like, so there's people in tiny little towns in Ontario that know about Star Atlas. Like that's how far and how quickly it's like penetrated the culture. It was
Think
That's
about
really
madness.
think
bizarre.
about how weird this is gonna be though, like because since we all have fake names, except for a couple of us, like Ash that's showing her picture and everybody knows who she is. If you were to see her in person, somebody like me, somebody like literally everybody on this stage, like what are you gonna do when you're wearing a Star Atlas thing? I can't be like, yeah, I know about Star Atlas, but I can't tell you on the Moon Man. Like I gotta keep
I'm
that
gonna
on the
start,
D low.
I'm gonna start dressing the part. I'm gonna start wearing
I
pinstripe
actually,
suits
I
and
actually
telling
have to
people my
dox
name's Don.
myself at some point.
Yeah, there's actually a picture of me up on the Final Frontier essay, but yeah, no,
I
you,
think
you get what I mean though.
Oh, now I
around
gotta go
Halloween time,
search. Now I
man.
gotta go
So
Oh,
you
now
have to
you got to go
give yourself
search.
before.
Okay.
I've seen a
No,
Halloween
I think. Oh,
Say it again.
I said I swear I've seen you post a Halloween picture before.
Oh
Did
yeah.
Halloween?
That was yeah. So that same picture that's on Final Frontier, that was actually the
Sorry for
day
throwing that.
of. No, you're fine. You're fine. That was actually the day of Halloween, and then that other picture was later in the night. After a few glasses of wine were involved.
After some fun. No, that
exactly.
to go off on what PG was saying, it's totally true. Like I'm friends with the marketing officer for Jason Parabolic, and I wear his hats every now and then. And it's just kind of crazy because you see people that you know that you see every day, and then you bring out something from the crypto industry that you're wearing and they're like, oh my gosh, I love your hat, you're into crypto. Like, it's so crazy. And so I'm so excited to like actually be able to wear something from Star Atlas, because I know there are other people around me that are interested in the project and are involved in the project, but we just don't know each other yet. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be really cool to see all these Atlassians like come out of the woodwork even more.
Yeah,
Connecting with
how do
people
we
on a
say that?
different level.
Atlassian. How do we say that? Atlassian. What is that?
Atlassian?
Atlassians. Say it again.
Atlassian?
Atlassian. I can't say nothing. I'm done. I'm
Like
done.
Atlas and then Ian.
That hit
I
not.
can't say nothing. I
Oh
butcher
my
so many
God.
people's names. It's so bad.
Nice.
No, you know a funny story about that? And
Yeah.
sorry, this is super random, you guys, but so when I post, I would post and say fellow Atlassians, right? And so I had a friend who was in another NFT project, and he had seen that post and he started messaging me, talking to me about this like company called Atlassian. And I guess it's a company in Australia. I wasn't really familiar with it, but he was telling me like all these stories and stuff about this company. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And then later on down the line, he's like, wait, you don't work for Atlassian? I'm like, no, I don't work for that company at all. That's like kind of what we were calling like, just people in our metaverse. And he's like, oh my gosh, I feel like such an idiot right now. Like, you probably thought I was so like off the wall, but it was just a really funny, just a little funny thing.
Everyone always calls us the Atlassio family, but there's no A in the middle of our name. It's the Atlassio family.
Atlassio, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think people just get confused because Star Atlas, Atlassio family.
Yeah, Atlassio. Yeah,
Like
no, I
me
always
was
say
saying the
Atlassio.
whole time freaking tofu when it's tofa. And then I keep and then Chip
I
comes
said
and
that on
comments and
stream
then
one time.
no, but he
Tofu.
literally comes in there, he's like, yeah, no, I'm hungry for some tofu right now. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I definitely said something wrong right now. It's tofa, not tofu.
Yeah,
So
tofu.
I
I've
have a
said that a couple times.
for you guys. Then I guess with Atlassian being its own company, like we probably can't really use that going into the future. What do you guys think like some great alternatives would be for what we should call people within our metaverse? Since
I say we just claim it. Let's just claim it. Let's just
Yeah,
take
I
it.
say we just dominate the space and take it.
Well, but
Exactly.
it's already, and I think we could get in trouble. Like, we could possibly get in trouble for doing that, right?
We can always buy them
We'll
out,
blow
right?
up the spaceships.
Spaceship will blow them up with spaceships.
Yeah, we can always buy them out. Money talks.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Xcode, what do you think?
So
Xcode
if
could
it's
just code
Atlassian,
something in. He could like
if,
just code their name, not real
no.
documents or something.
If it's the Atlassian that I'm thinking of, it's actually a really big software developing
It
suite.
is.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it totally is. Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to buy them out right now, but give it a couple of years, we might be able to. Or just the fact that they're in the space, there may be some kind of cute partnership there. I have no idea, but no, we used to use Atlassian software to do all of our sprint planning and all that stuff.
Partnership. I like it. We're not blowing them up anymore. Okay.
Yeah, we should do like a community driven. What are we going to call ourselves? And have like
I
a vote or
agree.
something.
That would be such a cool idea. Ash, you need to start this now. You need to start.
Yep.
You need to
I
get like
like
a
it.
poll or something
That's a
going.
good idea. We should do a community-driven thing on naming ourselves. Like, it sounds so weird, but like naming ourselves, naming our community. We need something to call ourselves, right?
Well, we could use
I love
we
it.
could use the other coin and call ourselves Polish.
Polish. Well, but that's a whole country. So.
Oh.
Hey guys,
That's an entire war that we don't want to go down.
Maybe like Policines? Policines?
Ooh.
What about like there's Atlan or
It'd be Polians?
Ooh.
Polians? Okay. Hi, Suhail.
think
How
that
are you doing?
I didn't actually. Hope you guys are all well.
I think it needs to go to a vote. I think it needs to go to a vote.
Guys, just
For a brief,
Let's put in a DAO.
for a brief like 10 seconds, I thought to myself, Star Citizens. I was like, wait.
No, we can't call us
Nope.
that. That's another door. That's like opening Pandora's box, right?
Guys, just to give you a bit of alpha and internal discussion, Atlassian is off the table.
Atlassian is off the table. Yeah, it is. So we need to come up with something else to call ourselves.
My daughter says we should be stargazers.
Yes.
Stargazers, that's cool. That has a cool ring
100%.
to it. But yeah, maybe we should have like a community-driven effort to kind of come up with something to call ourselves. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and then on those names where we basically prioritize is like the comments that people like the most. We'll like take the best 4, put it in a poll, and then we can have like a poll to see which one people like the most.
S-Azers. How about that? Shooting lasers.
What the hell?
How about starnauts? Like astronauts or cosmonauts, but
Starnauts.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna
Atlas
write
knots.
down and I'm gonna like compile a list, and then maybe we'll do something fun to name our community, because our community needs a name.
Exactly. Starnauts is the thing. What are we good at? The stars and making knots at the same time. Starnauts.
We're just gonna
we'll
call
do
ourselves
this.
number ones.
Oh wow, okay.
The OGs. No.
OGs.
We'll be the Gen Zeros.
Exactly.
SAGs.
Yeah.
Depending
my
on what
God.
kind of ship you get a Gen number. So we're all Gen 0 here.
I like it. It's better than the other gen that I've been like assigned with. So I'll take a
We'll
gen.
just go with the money team. We'll just take it from Floyd.
Money brother.
The money team.
That's awesome. So I think I have some people. Do you guys want to try and answer some questions? I see some people with requests.
Yeah, it's a Friday night. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it rolling. All right. Let me grab some people from the audience. We'll bring them up and chat. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I just want to throw this out there too while we're bringing up some people. So I went on Steam. I downloaded and bought Stellaris. If anybody out there wants to play with me, let's get it, dude. Let's get it rolling.
I mean, you
we
already
just got
know,
dropped.
Moonman.
Yeah.
You already know. I will literally play that game with you.
Yeah,
You're gonna be
play it with me, dude.
playing that free.
We literally just got dropped the alpha. That's what the game's most gonna be like after ship module. And you know what I mean? Probably next year, maybe sometime this year even. But like he literally just told us, play this game for practice, and you will be better. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah, you'll be playing it for
you don't have to
3,000
tell me
hours.
anymore else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah.
That game takes forever to beat.
Does it?
Oh my God, thousands of hours for some people. Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
we got to
then
get started
long
now.
time. Yeah, let's do it
Sounds like
today.
my Age of Empires games.
Well, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, those games are
to start
long.
streaming that. So.
Oh hell yeah, we'll have to
Get on
do
guys.
something. Of course.
Yeah, I'll be streaming. I'll be streaming on Monday, 8 p.m. CST, playing Stellaris. You guys in the audience, people up here. Yeah, I don't know if you've checked out my streams yet, but they're a full-blown event. Come and hang out with me, man. The Mooners. You know what we do.
You just got Twitch affiliate, right?
Yeah. So I just got Twitch affiliate.
Awesome.
And actually, shout out to, thank you for bringing that up. Shout out to Archetype. I think you guys know him. You guys have probably seen him around a little bit. Super crazy good artist. He's got the 4-year-old son that's a dope, artist himself. So shout out to him. And the reason I'm giving him a shout out is because we're working on some things, but I hit him up and I was like, yo, I'm a Twitch affiliate now. I need now, if anybody decides to subscribe to me, which would be insane, first of all, let's just say that. But if that happens, you get like a little badge. And I was like, yo, what are some badges? Like, you know what I mean? Can you maybe do something for me? And he was like, bro, not a problem. Within hours, he hit me back with 6 different badges that go over the span of a year. You know what I mean? The longer and longer you've been subscribed. And these are solid, dude. I'm going to show the community probably in a couple days. But oh my gosh. And then in the next 60 days, you have to wait 60 days before you can use custom emotes. And so, of course, I'm going to use Archetype for that and collaborate with him and stuff like that. But this dude's artwork is amazing. And shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, I
So
second that.
sick.
Artwork is crazy good. And his
Yeah, I
son
love it.
so talented too. So
He
there's
really
a lot
is.
of artistic talent in that family.
Agreed.
So I went ahead and brought up Neopolis. from the audience?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Or this isn't. This is only in the metaverse. So I was going to Neopolis first. I don't know if he can unmute.
Yep.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hey guys, nice to meet you. I just heard you talking about naming.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't really have a name for Atlassians in general, but I'd come up with a name for maybe a city in Star Atlas.
Yeah, let's hear it.
And so I thought Neapolis would be a great name for a city.
I'm pretty sure somebody would definitely use that name because I mean, when somebody comes around the corner and they hear about what's it, Neapolis, right? Correct?
Yeah, Neapolis. I
I'm pretty
actually,
sure. No, go
yeah, I
for it.
was just going to say, I actually claimed Neapolis.sol. And
Nice.
so I thought it would be a great fitting name for a city in Star Atlas. And so I now, go ahead.
I mean, with any guild or anything like that that you're associated with and so on, I mean, if that's a driving force that you want to do, by all means, man, go make that city. Literally, just get out there and make that city. Because I'm pretty
I'm
sure
actually
it'll
affiliated
get
with the
out there.
club.
Say again, sorry?
I'm sorry. I said I'm actually affiliated with the club, the guild, the
Oh,
club.
nice. So then,
Yeah.
yeah, well, then by all means, I mean, we'll make the city already, bro. Don't worry. I mean, by all means, we'll make the city, man. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know exactly, we're still kind of learning how it's going to go. I don't know if, I think he said, the land claims are going to be based on first come, first serve, gets to bid on the auction first. And I
So
think
that is for much later on down the line, though, for the game. So with the current stuff that is coming in with Cream Tier 0 and so on, it is more so where your land just gets, or your land claim stakes are earning and so on. You don't physically have land in Cream Tier 0. Your earnings will just be derived off of what type of tier land claim stakes you have at that time. So we may see city building or city generating options coming about later. But something that he did drop, though, which I hope a lot of you picked up on and so on, is the fact that depending on your tier of land and depending on how your development goes along that tier of land, your structures can be upgraded. So that does mean that they're going to require more power. So that means power supply is going to be a very essential part of everything that's going on your land, because your buildings can be upgraded. And that is so cool to think about, because you most likely start off tier 1, and then you can go all the way up to tier 5, for instance. And that's something that is going to come about. And that may be also a city building option that comes about with it, with the applications for terraforming your land into farmland, or more so mining.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for groups that are in the same faction, for something like a city, I think it would be also really valuable if you had a city that was comprised of multiple factions, all kind of benefiting from the network effect of being next to each other for trade purposes and things like that. So I thought about a like a cross faction city, that we could all kind of, all the kind of the guilds that are here now would kind of maybe have resources on, so that we could all benefit from that network effect. Because if things work out with Star Atlas and the metaverse, And then if you have big players, say huge guilds, or maybe even your meta companies, your giant tech companies coming in, a group of the guilds that are here now may want to all kind of work together to make sure we're not dominated by these larger organizations that might come in and try and do that, you know?
Well,
I actually remember.
No, go for it.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, well, I actually remember that being talked about in one of the previous spaces, and just to kind of touch on what we talked about was watching out for these big corporations coming in and trying to kind of take over Star Atlas, right? But we the people and we the Star Atlians, whatever we go with, we have the power to. You like that? We have the
I like
power
that.
to buy up all the poll lists as much as we can right now while it's on sale. So we do have that voice and we do have that say so in the future to make sure that it gets steered in the correct direction. And us OGs, and that's all of you in the audience, you guys are OGs. This game is seriously in the infancy stages, right? So we can actually have a say so. But look, we also want to embrace and welcome these big corporations that come in because, like Michael Wagner has said, and like others have said, the big thing about a corporation coming in, what's so amazing about it is, a lot of us don't, and even some of us guilds, we don't have the money to buy these Titan ships. A lot of ships we've been able to buy, right? All the guilds, but these Titan ships, this is where it gets a little bit out of range for majority of people. Who's it not out of range for though? The corporations. So the corporation comes in and buys that big like X, probably like a Venus is what that one looks like, that main one that you always see. A corporation, yeah. A corporation comes in and buys that, for $6 million, whatever it may go for, right? In the Dutch auction, the reverse Dutch auction, they're probably not going to play games. But the first thing that they're going to do is say, "Hey, Star Atlas team, what should we do now that we've bought this big investment?" And I can guarantee the Star Atlas team, I can't speak for them, this is the Moon Man speaking, but I'm sure that they would do this. They would say, well, what we're going to do is give you a list of the top guilds, and these guys have built large infrastructures, and we think the best thing that you could do is actually hire some of these people, and this would be the best way you could actually, get that ROI, right? That internal return on investment, is to actually start chit chatting with some of these top guilds. And then what does that do? So we had money from the top, the outside, the corporation goes straight into a Titan ship. Star Atlas filters it to us guilds, and bada boom, bada bang. You know what I mean? We're in there like swimwear, baby. So there's two sides to the corporation thing. You know what I mean? Like, we got to buy that poll list to make sure there's no nefarious things going on with the bad corporations that are just trying to literally be whales and buy up everything and not provide to the community. Then there's also the other side where the corporations are actually coming in to buy up a lot, but provide jobs and, economic change. So
I've got an idea. We let the corporation buy the $6 million ship, and then we entice them out into the danger zone with their big shiny ship, and we tell them to wait right there while we go get our buddies.
Just stay right there. Just stay right there. We'll be there.
It'll be
And
fine.
Leash the bounty hunters on them.
They're gonna have somebody in a room. They're gonna have somebody in a room on a gaming headset. Like, where's he supposed to be? He said he was gonna be here. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at right now. And there's a lot of ships coming in on me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Oh no! Exactly.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You can go ahead. Don't worry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I hope in the future there can be maybe like Moonman mentioned, the OG guilds all kind of have one maybe city on one planet where it's just like in real life, Manhattan prime real estate. If we all kind of have some resources together there, we would all benefit from the networking effect of the value of that land, going up. And that's something that we could all choose to generate working together.
I think you might actually see something like this when it comes to the UMO. So this is the
Yeah, I was just about to say as well.
yeah, this is the different guilds. All are in connection, united metaverse accords, and basically, we'll all have many guilds. We'll all have our own different planets. We'll all be starting in our own different factions. But just like we have a council amongst the UMO, I would imagine that there would be a a UMO planet in every faction's territory. You know what I mean? It's like a three-way thing. So I'm sure that they would own three different planets in each faction just to have their meetings and do such things like that in the metaverse. Ronan, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, no, I was gonna hear I know like Ash brought a bunch of other people up as well and so on. I wanted to hear exactly like what other people were thinking as well, or what other people's questions were as well at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I did just want to say I brought up Sutherland as well. He joined us today. Sutherland, you're starting to make a really good face in the community. So welcome to our after party of the town hall. I just wanted to say hi.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's been quite the ride already. So yeah, a lot of a big learning curve. There are a lot of things that you need to get acquainted to. But yeah, it's been fun. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing awesome. It's been a pretty fun chat so far, right, guys?
It's been an amazing chat so far. Just chatting with Chip and like meeting everybody who's new to the Star Atlas team. I mean, Ash getting promoted on the Star Atlas team. I mean, wow. We have like we said, everybody said before, the Queen of Star Atlas has appeared, and she's here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun tonight. A lot of fun going on. But so we also, I'm sorry, I see you're unmuted. Did you have a question or something, Sutherland?
No, I'm good. Thank you, guys.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us up here. So I also brought up, let's see, only in the metaverse.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for
Hello.
letting me join in. So I have a small question. I don't know if you can help me. It's regarding the factions, regarding the guilds. So today on the Notion that they post, they spoke about these things, the alignments between the different factions. No, mood. If you're Oni or if you are Ustur, that if would like to do a dual faction, you must have a loyalty with another faction that is not the one that you are. So, do you know how this going to work? Like how you can have the passport to gain the
So
loyalty with a different.
So I can answer that already because Chip answered this already for us. So with the whole faction pass thing now coming about and so on, I think that's more so going to be for how you're going to maybe say get resources and so on. But with the whole loyalty factor, you can still within your own faction, so long as the faction has access to that ship with like the dual faction crafting system, you can still build the loyalty for that ship in your own faction. You do not have to go to another faction and gain the loyalty from that faction in order to be able to build that ship. Say, for instance, okay, with the Calico. Calico has majority loyalty with Mud, and then it has minor loyalty with Oni because it's a dual faction ship. So you can, within the Mud faction, a Pacific mission, you can unlock the Calico line more like I would say quicker is what he used, quicker than what you could with the Oni faction going for the Calico line. So you will within your own faction still be able to unlock that ship so long as the ship is related towards your faction. But it may be longer, it may be faster or take longer depending on if it is a major faction, a dual faction, or a minor dual faction within that ship's crafting aspect.
Okay, cool. So, in case that, for example, now talking about organizations and the guilds, it's can be more more necessary or more important to be like a multi-faction guild, or this is maybe doesn't matter to develop the best
It
results in the game?
I would say it doesn't really matter, in my honest opinion, but what you need to understand as well is with a multi-faction guild comes its own complications as well, because now your members are spread out across multiple factions, which makes it a little bit harder to protect them, because maybe say most of your assets that are going to be used to protect them may be in a majority main or a home-based faction. So that there are complications there. There's advantages and disadvantages to having multi-factions or option within a guild. But if the guild plans around it and understands like how to either cooperate with other faction or other guilds within those factions that are taking them as their main faction, then stuff can work out at the end of the day. But I would say at the end of the day, if you are trying to create all ships, then yes, multi-faction guild is an option. But if you are fine with Mud being able to do this, and this, and this, and not being able to build, I think there's like 2 ships that it can't build in that whole list. Let me just quickly check. I think it's 2 ships that it can't build. No, it's 1 ship that it can't build. The Ogrica that it can't build at all. Mud can't build at all. Now, if you're fine with having that and everything like that, then there's no reason to go for a whole multi-faction thing. Otherwise, like I said, there's complications that comes with that. But if your guild is planning it correctly, then there's absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your answer. And from my side, that's it. Just thank you everybody for letting me join, and congratulations again, Ash, for your promotion.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us tonight. So I also brought up Ziggy. Ziggy, you've joined us before. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Congratulations again, as everyone is stating. I just want to put a question out, kind of, I guess, my theme, and just what everyone's thoughts are on what they said about the showroom and what everyone's thinking it will turn into and what we're expecting, at least at the start. Sounds like there'll be lots of launches or additions throughout the year, but yeah, what are your guys' thoughts?
I can maybe speak a bit to what should be available. Yeah, sure. So the first version of the showroom is intended for you to be able to like the trailer that came out over Christmas, right? You'll be able to be in a bay, a tech bay with your ship, and explore your ship. And someone asked earlier if you'd be able to pilot the ship, and I don't know if that's possible or not, but from what I've seen so far, that tech bay will be something you can explore as well. And as far as I know, it's intended to be generic so that everyone has the same looking tech bay, but everybody's ships will be available in full Unreal Engine 5 fidelity. And the Vizus trailer was spot on. Like, it was the tech bay is obviously changing every day, but like what you saw there is a very good example of the quality that you'll be able to see your ship in and walk into your ship and explore it.
Scott, was me that asked that question to Chippy, because Michael, in the last interview with Lunar Crash, he really said that we could do a test flight, like should be like a really small. It's not flying around the planet, but at least a small test flight, or maybe only enter in the module, like we saw in the trailer.
Then it makes sense, because what I've seen and what we saw in the demo is the ships are flying and you can fly the ships. So I don't know how far you'll be able to take it. And I actually hadn't heard that from Michael, so I can't confirm or deny it. But it makes sense to me that you'd be able to fly it limited, right? And I don't think there'd be any multiplayer aspect to it or anything like that. It's just you in your showroom and you pick which ship you want to see, and maybe it flies in, or maybe it just appears on the showroom floor and you walk up to it and get into it. I don't know, but yeah.
I think that we're gonna have small interactions, social interaction with each other. I think we're gonna have the first social experience. That I think Michael also said that in the interview. I'm gonna post that interview in Twitter, so Ash can maybe post it to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. No, I was just curious what everyone's thoughts were because that's what I kind of understood too. Just probably something small. I will watch that or listen to the interview there and see what I come up with. It. I haven't watched that one, but I've been going through all the other town halls and seeing what all the tidbits you guys have acquired over the months that I've been missing out on. So, yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So we have one more question. Okay, I'm going to try my best to pronounce this. So Triskelion. Did I say that right?
Yes, you said that. It's Triskelion.
Triskelion. Okay.
Yeah, I came up with that name because when the very first time I got into crypto was 3 years ago, and I found out that the Ripple symbol was a Triskelion.
Gotcha.
And I thought I was going to become a millionaire buying XRP.
Yeah.
And so I named myself the Triskelion.
Can I just say back in what was it, 2017, 18 when Ripple crashed and they froze? Yeah, I got stuck in that. That was a lot of fun. So.
I actually watched a lot of my fellow I actually watched a lot of my fellow coworkers become rich off of that year. So that's how I got involved, and I was in shock. I was like, crypto, what the hell is that? So then I got hooked on crypto, and then you guys got me hooked on gaming. So now I'm getting into gaming again. I'm so old they call me Gray Bush, but but I don't know if you guys know that reference from Grandma's Boy, but
yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm 52 years old. I'm a garbage man in Seattle. You have a garbage man listening to you guys for hours now. It's been an interesting adventure for the last 3 years in crypto, listening to all these YouTube videos and everything. And I just got bored, super bored. And then my brother introduced me to Star Atlas, and I started watching Star Atlas Theory, and it got me really interested. So thanks to Star Atlas Theory for starting his channel, because I don't think I would have continued to investigate into Star Atlas until watching his channel. So
yeah, he's incredible. He puts out great content, and I think he was the first content creator for Star Atlas, I believe. I think he was here with us, but I think he's incredible.
Yeah, I had to go through hours and hours of his videos. It took me 2 days. That's how much time I can actually listen to everybody. So if you guys got content creators that you can DM me and I can watch, because it makes my day go by so much faster. I work 12 hours a day in this garbage. My spaceship is a garbage truck, so that's how I get through the day.
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about too. You're talking about the herb, that junkyard bulldog right there.
Yeah, that's right.
I knew it when you said garbage.
I was going to ask Chip if there was going to be some recycle or space junk. Is there going to be something like that? Because I spent a lot of money on food and supply, on this game. So I was wondering, where's the recycle?
Nothing against the herb, dude. That thing is a junkyard bulldog, but those things are mean. Don't get in a fight with one of them. You see those
the buy offline is the recycling line.
Yeah, you see the big guns on that shit, man. That thing will tear somebody up.
It's a DIY ship, basically. Yeah. Do it yourself ship. That's what that's all about.
What's everybody's
What I would recommend, basically, for where you was asking about content creators, is Ash has an amazing thread that she put out, which I think is about 21 sections that is in her tweets and so on. I would go look at that, and she has listed content creator after content creator after content creator on there, and it is an amazing thread that she has filled with so many details of content creators.
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll pin it to the top for you so it's easy to find.
What's
Okay,
everybody's
sweet. Yeah.
thoughts on the ships, these OG ships, these first gen ships that are being released right now, and then the fact that in the future, obviously if you take them out into deep space, they'll get destroyed, they'll get burned, but the blueprints will be
Sure.
there for people to then build more and stuff like that. But because we're dealing with this blockchain technology, which is really cool, um, we're going to know in the future when something was, if it was blueprinted, 5 years down the road, or if it
Correct.
was, one of the OG ones, you know what I mean, from this last year and this year. What do we want to speculate when it comes to this like price and how valuable those things are going to be, and possibly even what ships are going to be the quickest to burn out there in deep space? And
I actually think
yeah,
that you're 100% on the mark there. I actually think that most of the ships that we have now might actually get burnt down quite a bit when like deep space comes out, and then we may come to a GAO phase 0 antique ship line, basically, in a sense, where the total supply has gone down from what it originally was, and now they're so rare that I wouldn't want to take them out at all. I wouldn't want to take them out at all. I would literally want to make a replica out of it. There you go. That's it. This one I park in the back of a shed somewhere.
right.
Like two
Do you
years
think
down the
there's
line or something like that, it's
Do
going to
you
be
think
worth
there's going to
like
be
two
some
tons.
type of you think there's going to be some type of like marketplace that is created that splits the two, so
Yes.
like, okay, like I'm going to the marketplace for the OG gen ships, and then I'm going to the marketplace of the blueprinted ships, so there's that value, you know what I mean? Because somebody might look at one of the marketplace, the blueprinted marketplace, and be like, whoa, why can I get one for a Venus Envoy for original price, I think like 1K, right, $1,000, but then over
Mm.
in this different marketplace they won't know, you know what I mean, but they'll be like,
Yeah.
why on this marketplace is this
I
one worth 50,000? And the reason is because it was an OG from 2021.
I think one of the main like contributors for that and so on would most likely
Hmm.
be like third-party integration with that. Then you have a third party that would bring about the whole thing of saying, here's all of the ships that came from this line, and here's what maybe say like their IDs were, if they do have IDs, which I'm pretty sure
Yes,
they do.
yes.
I don't really know right now. I think they do. So here's what their ID range was and so on, and then this would be sold or categorized and essentially sold on a third party integration, obviously with Star Atlas's approval for whatever return rate comes on whatever purchase has over there. But then that would happen there, and then you would have two different kind of marketplace basically. Because I don't think Star Atlas would essentially have the time to be able to divide the markets right away. So I think with
Yeah.
third party integration, that would come into play like 100%, because
And that's the beauty,
these
because
ships are going to be antique.
the community is going to be so big at that point. There's already so much being built, so that's gonna happen. Now that we're speaking about it, somebody's gonna do it. I mean, that's 3 years, 5 years away, right? So it's gonna
Exactly.
happen. And here's the other thing too. Like, that's another thing that I'm doing. I'm buying ships for an investment right now. Right now, it's an investment. You know what I mean? Right now, you're trying to get the most returns, and that's the game we're playing. But you're also kind of setting up for what you want to do in the future. But, I'm not only buying for returns, I'm not buying for what I want to set up in the future. I'm also buying because I'm like, I know some of these ships are literally going to be OG. Well, they all are technically. These ships right now are all going to be OGs, but I'm buying for that too because I know there's going to be so many people that just burn their ships. So it's like, buy for the hodl, and also buy for the returns, and then buy for gameplay. Like, keep it as like a trio. You know what I mean? Look at it in three different
Diamond
aspects.
hands, man. Diamond hands
Diamond
Yeah,
in
hands,
the
yes.
sense.
Yo,
I
shout out
100%.
think
Biles, one of the FF members. Let's go.
I
Yeah.
think they definitely will have to pick one part on a ship and not put it in the blueprints. So there's some way to distinguish a OG to a newer blueprint built ship.
What's up, Ash? Congratulations.
Hey, Viles, how are you doing? Thank you.
Good. So it would be really, really easy on the technical side of things when they launch the ship creation. One thing you guys have to understand is that the ships in their current form, they are semi-NFT and they are semi-token. Because they're all identical, they are not non-fungible tokens. Although each one does have a different ID, they are treated as NFTs in our wallets. They're technically tokens. They are fungible between a Guardian is fungible to any other Guardian. So when they create the crafting loop, when you craft a ship and it does not have all the components inside, it would be technically different than the Guardians we have now. So maybe not at first, but they could very easily just create a new pool of like Guardian 2 or whatever they want to call it, or they have a different name for it, whatever. And so it would be super easy for them to sell these other ones differently. And especially when the game gets to the point where they are allowing us to modify the ships. I'm betting the ships are going to be like put into a contract that burns them and turns them into more of an NFT than they are now. I don't know, maybe it's already set up correctly, but I have a feeling like we're going to be burning our ships into the game, and we'll get an NFT of that ship that's more customizable in the future. Because how else could you possibly transfer, all of that information about mods and also the stuff and paint colors and everything else with the NFT? I don't know. But the current system that we use to buy and sell ships will obviously not work when there's modifications. So it would be very easy for them to create new pools of ships that are not the OGs. That's what I'm expecting to happen, but that's just my take on the technicals of it.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
no.
a reasonable solution. It may or may not be the one we do, but yeah, it's good thinking.
But
I
yeah,
think that in some town hall, I think that was point out that the OGs is you can see that the difference in the game between Opod original and Opod that was transforming game. You can see them being really different between each other. The OGs is going to be always OGs.
I think I also heard something about that, like that they may be a physical appearance that's different in some or other way, like an aspect to it that maybe say it doesn't have an extra module slot, or it has a added on feature which may be like a GAO barcode at the back of at the back or underneath or wherever on a GAO ship. And that would identify it as a Gen 1 ship, for instance.
Yeah. Even though the Gen 1
that
ships,
would be so good.
Yeah, like Velas was saying, even though the Gen 1 ships are fungible now, it will be very easy to distinguish them from a manufactured ship. However we implement that, I don't know. But the whole point of these is to have something that goes into history with you for being here.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and
I
right,
look at them as like a collector's piece,
Yeah,
right? Like there's ships that I have from this gen that I'm never going to use. I'm just going to hold them in my wallet. Like they're a collector's piece, and it's a piece of history.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
and
that's why I look at them.
Yo, that's why I say it's going to be very that's why I'm a big fan of holding a lot of the $20 ships. Like, look, I understand that nobody likes to click 1,000 times in a day, but really like they bring in so low rewards. I don't mind if most of the time I usually come back to Star Atlas and do it once every other day. So I don't mind that I missed five Atlas, those 2 days that I didn't hit. You know what I mean? I'm holding those small ones as more of an investment, and they're $20. But like those are going to be the ships that everybody even though there's a large supply, they're cheap, and there is a large supply, and everybody's going to go and burn those. So those are actually going to be burnt very quickly and become actually very valuable in the future, I think, personally.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just because everybody's like $20, I'll go burn it, no problem. You know what I mean? I got to kind of explore deep space anyway, so I take the big one out.
And you guys need to think about how many players will be in this game. I think at least 5 million players will be in this game, like in 5 years. If you're gonna see some ships that are only 2,000 of them, like the Vox Opad is only 1,900. That's really such a small number. like it's a piece of sand in the beach, because it's going to be millions of players playing, and you're going to have one of the G1 that's going to be only 1,900 of them as NFTs. So I think the price of these ships is going to be crazy, really crazy enough. So I advise, not financial advice, but don't go to the risk space with these Cadillacs, because they're going to be very valuable in the future.
Yeah, but that's exactly what people are going to do. The red zone's going to come out, and people are going to fly them out there. There's going to be like a week of reckoning, right, where people just get destroyed.
Oh,
And the landscape
I
will
already
change.
said it. Somebody needs to set up like because obviously there's going to be recording in the game. People are going to be streaming. Maybe shout out to Atlas Theory, but you know they're like the Hollywood of Star Atlas, but they need to set up like a couple of ships, $20 ships out there in deep space, and just stream and record your screen so we can watch these hilarious fails happen of uh-oh, okay, here's another threpid, here's another threpid, kaboom, done. Everybody, and then have somebody, you know what I mean, checking in Star Atlas Gen chat for that same guy that came in about 15 minutes later, coming in just, my threpid, can I get this back? You know what I mean? Like you can like link the video of it being destroyed in the fail, and then go to Gen Chat and watch the guy go crazy. Like it's gonna happen so many times, but please somebody catch all this happening. Just sit out there as a
We'll have
camera
to see
crew
what
because it's gonna be
we'll have to
hilarious.
see what happens for the future. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an option further down the line where you'll be able to have like a spectator mode,
Oh
or
yeah.
they may bring in a spectator mode for when wars come about and so on, where casting can get done for these kind of things, because there's going to be faction versus faction at one or other point. And when that happens, I'm pretty sure the whole casting aspect will definitely come into play for that, like 100%. But as a side note and so on, I do have to say goodnight and everything like that. It is literally almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I love you guys so much that I would stay up this late, but I need to sleep too. The
Yes.
bed, she is calling me. She is calling me. I can hear her, and I need to go to bed sometime soon, hopefully.
Love you too,
Absolutely.
Ronan. Thanks for showing
Yes,
up, brother.
please.
Yeah.
You're a genius, man.
Thank you so much for joining us, friend. We always enjoy having
Nah.
you.
No, look, I love it. It's probably definitely the highlights of my days and so on. Be able to come and chat with people and everything like that. Whether it's Star Atlas Tuesdays on Twitch, whether it's the town hall questions, whether it's even here with all the amount of questions we throw at Chip, which I'm pretty sure he's going to have dreams about at this stage with the amount of questions I asked him, because I'm pretty sure I asked between 20 to 25 questions. So he's definitely gonna have dreams about that. But apart from that and so on, I mean, like, it's just awesome to be able to be part of everything that happens around this like space. But otherwise, yes, my bed is definitely calling me, and I do definitely need to get some sleep. So I do wish you all a fantastic weekend, and I hope you enjoy to the utmost best of your capability. And I will then check you around sometime. And congratulations once again, Ash.
Thank you so much, Ronan. And for anybody in the audience who doesn't know, Ronan just started streaming with Dreaming Dragon. Every Tuesday, they do a Star Atlas themed stream on Twitch. So definitely check them out.
Someone's got to start keeping tallies of how many questions are asked each town hall and see where we're at by this time next year for Ronan.
Oh my gosh. Do I need to start now? Okay, we're starting now. 25 now. Now, who's going to keep count? Because it's not going to be me, because I run through the questions too much.
Well, but just so you know, Chip said that he had a great time tonight and he's planning on coming back with us. So you didn't scare him off.
The Ronin ring has prevailed. He's passed the trial.
Put your bets in. Put your bets in now. What kind of ship are we betting on for the number who gets closest for next year?
Oh my gosh. What am I stake? I'll put on a Pierce X6 on the line for that. If you get the closest number out there, and so I'll keep track as well. If you get the closest number by let's see, when should I put it? Maybe say like June or anything like that. I'll put down a number, I'll put the thing out there, I'll give you a Pierce X6.
Incredible. All right. Well, you have a good night, friend, and we'll chat soon.
You as well. Enjoy your weekend, guys.
Thanks, Ronan. Bye-bye. So
Cheers.
We've been going for, over 2 hours now. I have two more questions. Sorry, I thought you dropped off. So at I'm going to say it wrong again, but I'm talking to you.
Yeah, Triskillionaire. It's a really bad name. I think I'm just going to change it to Gray Bush. But
Gray Bush.
yeah, I'll just put that up there. Yeah, I was listening to. I thought when you guys were saying Atlassians or whatever, I thought it was Oh my God, at Legions. We have a brewery company here, a beer company called Elysian, and so I was thinking maybe uh like
Kind of like Legionnaire.
yeah, if you put a Y in it or something like that, then it would be different than somebody else's
Company. Yeah.
So
That's
if you
not
put
yeah.
Maybe like Illuminati.
yeah, like yeah, spell it naughty NAU. So like Star Legion, I was thinking maybe, or something like that, or at Legion, and you could just put a Y in there and it would be different.
Yeah, I'll write that down. That was a good one. I'll write that down. I'm compiling
The Magicians.
so
And
definitely.
congratulations. I'm glad you actually work. Do you actually work for Star Atlas now? Is that how
I
that?
do. I officially
Okay.
started Monday. So
Because I got in trouble following you. My wife was like, "Who the hell is that?" When you came up, I had you on the notifications was on. So I'm glad I can actually be honest with her and say no. She actually works for the company.
Oh,
I
Atlas
do, and I put it in my bio so she can check my bio and she'll know that I
Ashes
actually
is
work for the.
definitely wrecking homes. This is a
Yeah,
fact. This is a
maybe
fact.
you
She is
could.
wrecking homes behind closed doors in Star
No,
Atlas for
don't
sure.
say that.
Oh yeah, you are. Definitely.
Oh,
Ash the home record.
oh
So
no.
could we get Ash?
My wife had questions too.
Why are you like
I
this?
say I'm a coworker, Xcode. I don't know if that makes it any better though.
It doesn't. It's actually worse now.
Could
Yeah,
we get an AI like Siri version of Ash in the game when we have a question, and then when we're done with her, she just disappears in ashes, or something cool like that, like you know what I mean?
The in-game computer is going to be Ash. She doesn't
Yeah.
know that yet, but we're working on it.
Oh shoot! Did you just drop alpha on us?
Yes.
I mean, I get people commenting asking if I'm real or not already. So some people think I already am AI when I do my videos. So there you go.
Oh, now I can tell my wife you're not even real.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. She's just really good artificial intelligence.
That's a
Metahuman.
smile. That's a fake smile. That smile does not melt me. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend.
All
Take
right.
it easy, man. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely. So I have one more question. I know Inhale. Okay, Inhale. I know you've been waiting for a while. You've been dropping off and popping back up. Did you have a question for everybody before we call it? And then I have a question for you guys before we jump off as well.
Yeah. So one, congrats on the promotion.
Thank you.
Another thing for the names. So every time I jumped in the Discord, the first time I jumped in and said, "What's up, my fellow Attlers?" I was the first one to call everybody Attlers. So that could be a name.
I like it. Attlers. Put it on the list.
And then as for like Moonman, me and Moonman has a deal already. Whenever my name comes up on his bounty list, he's got to give me like 30-minute heads up so I could get to running somewhere.
On his bounty list.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Telling us you
remember
be
because
doing something
we
in the
had talked
metaverse that requires hunting.
Yeah.
because we had talked about that a couple Twitter Spaces ago. It's been a little bit, but yeah, man. How have you been though? How have you been? Good.
Good, man. Just trying to invest little by little in these ships. That's how, like you were saying, how you bought a good bunch of the small ships.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you can stock up on them. I only got like 4 at the moment. One of them I'm giving to my brother once he gets his account ready for the game.
There you go.
That's why I want to get like 2 or 3 more of both the bike and the what ships do I got? I got
the X4 would be like the bike
and
type. Mm-hmm.
I got the Oboe Jet and I got the Piercer X4.
Yeah. That's like the bike type. Yeah, that one's sick. I love that one.
Yeah, so I need 3 more X4s. I need to keep 2 of them and have ones I can take out to the far side until it gets destroyed, and then the other one just to ride around with.
Smart.
And then
Yeah,
the same thing
and
for
the
the
great thing
Obos.
about it, is like, I mean, let's say when that 3D version comes, right, 2-3 years from now, right, you will have accumulated so much Atlas through the ships, the returns on them, the daily rewards. You'll be staking your pull list, and then obviously we've got that like Stellaris type gameplay probably coming out sometime soon. Maybe in a year or so. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have so much time to accumulate so much wealth and buy
I
so
got no
many more
problem with the
ships when
staking either.
that game comes out. Yeah.
The staking is it's a nice. I do that daily. Wake up in the morning. It's like the first
You
thing
got
I
a
do.
little
I
bit
hop
of
out
a
the
moon bag?
shower, re-up.
Yeah.
That and I do that too. That's why I haven't got as many ships, because when I invest, I go a little bit. I try whatever I do. I would do like half of it in Solana, just a stack of Solana. Half of it to go to. I break that other half of Solana to go to half Polis, half Atlas, and
Facts.
then stack those up. Use that to get the materials, and then keep on refilling the ships.
Facts. Yeah, let's do it, man. If you ever want to play some Stellaris, you know what I mean, to get ready for for what's gonna be
I
happening
heard
in
you
Star
said you were
Atlas, let's do
downloading
it.
it. I need to get that going too for practice.
Download it.
Because
And
I
hit
tried
me
to
up,
do
let's play.
Eve for a little bit, but I don't like Eve. I couldn't really get into it.
Yeah, it's a lot for sure. It's a big learning curve for sure. Yeah, man. Let's do it, dude. Yeah, I'll definitely give you a heads up in the bounty hunting space. You already know you my dude. It's gonna get ugly out there, yo.
Oh yeah, I want to be one of those reporters standing off to the sidelines, streaming off the battles. Everybody getting destroyed, just trying to get to the far side.
Yes.
Just watching everybody get blown up, right?
For real.
Oh, and Xcode, thanks for the follow. But I was gonna give you a shout too, because I heard the episode, the Doubtcast episode you did today.
Yeah, I heard that he launched the interview today. I'm very excited and somewhat nervous about that, and I get nervous with this stuff.
But you do such a great job.
It's because I have a drink of wine before I come on.
I think we all are, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was. Ash told me to sorry for the wait. I don't mind the wait. You saved the best for last, and the whole time I was talking on the bone the joint anyways, just to get myself ready.
Well, this was scheduled at 4:20, so you're welcome. No.
Nahal, you mentioned you were going to do some bounty hunting. The Moon Man and I have got some cool ideas for bounty hunting. Anybody out there that?
Oh, buddy.
We're not going to go into too much detail, but
I told him I'm gonna be a mixture. I told him sometimes I probably help him, sometimes he might be chasing me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, Xcode's got an idea that's really it's heroism at its finest, I think is how you say that, right? Heroism, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's historical. You know what I mean? It's the smartest, one of the smartest plays I've ever heard in my life, and it's literally, it's for the people. So
same thing about the merch. Actually yesterday, before I even realized they were gonna do it a town hall today, and they announced anything about it. I was telling my girlfriend yesterday, I can't wait till they come out with merch, so I could just wear the sweater randomly in the public and see someone else wearing it, and either we exchange the names or I have my name stitched on me, because I'm gonna stream the game anyways. Then I stream with the camera, so people are gonna know how I look anyways if you follow any of my channels. But I ain't gonna say shit until someone probably comes up to me talking about, oh, you know Star Atlas? Oh, you know Star Atlas? Okay.
No, I think it's gonna be really cool to see like other people actually come out and be like, oh my gosh, I know what you're wearing. So the merch is really exciting. I know we've been waiting for that for a little bit too, with some merch. But so I have one more question for you guys as far as the name goes. And I think this one's been floated around a little bit, in the Star Atlas galaxy. So we to say, what do you guys think about Star Atlan? Like we're the Star Atlans. What are your thoughts?
Atlans.
Yeah.
I don't know why this just popped up in my head, but what's the band that did the Sugar? We're going down swinging. I'll be in. You know what I mean? Yeah, Fall Out Boy. Yes, thank you. I don't know why that song just popped up in my head when you said Atlians. What'd you say?
Atlans?
Atlans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that popped up in my head, but anybody that knows that song, it's a banger.
Because we're going down swinging.
Yeah,
no, that's crazy. The first thing I thought of was like we were a band from like the 60s on TV. You know what I mean? Like the Atlans. I don't know.
Did that happen to you? So you went like back in time as well, right?
Yeah.
We heard that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nuts.
I kind of think that's a good sign. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's weird. I like that. The Atlans. It sounds so weird. but then at the same time, it's kind of cool,
Mm-hmm. I
but it
think
kind of sounds
But it's
weird,
weird.
but
like
it's different.
Star Atlands.
Atlan's.
Maybe it's because it's kind of
I
like the
don't know. That's
Jetsons
weird,
or
but I
something.
mean, yeah. But
Put it
maybe
on
it's
the
supposed
list,
to stick
Ash.
though.
If
The
it's
Atlan's.
What about Star Atlians? Like you
Atlians.
said, Moon Man, Atlians.
I do like
But we've got
Atlians because that's cool.
It's a little
Solians,
smoother.
right?
We
The
do,
Solian
yeah.
Guild, or what's their guild? The Galileo Guild, but yeah. So
Yeah.
that has a nice ring to it. Yeah.
Atlians.
Atlians.
Yeah, that is kind of cool because like I think humans are aliens in a sense because
Yeah.
if we were to look at other people like other humans on planets, other beings on planets, we consider them aliens. If they were to look at us, we'd be considered aliens. So Atlians, I think is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
Well,
like
you're
that.
you're an
kinda like-
employee now, so can you get like a giveaway, and then you could just say, "Hey, everybody, comment some names, and we'll get like 5,000 of them."
Giveaway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we need some giveaways.
Yeah, definitely. We can put something together. We'll see. I don't know, but I like that
I
one.
don't
I
know.
think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, Atlians. I like that. I like that. That works. I like it. Let's take a vote on it, definitely. Find
Okay.
like three other like really heavy, like prominent ones that people like, and put it up against the Atlians, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That sounds good. We'll get some community input and maybe like get a bunch of them, and then we'll pull some that we like the best and put a vote.
Ash, is it easy to pronounce my name now? If you check it out, I just changed it.
Triskelionier.
No, it should be the profile name. I changed it to start at least.
Start at Lycian. Graybush. I like it.
Okay. All right. Don't forget about me.
Never. I'm gonna follow
That
you. There you go. I won't forget
Ashes
about
is
you.
bad with Ashes is bad with names. She said your name pretty good the first time too. My name's pretty easy now, but before I put the dot between the N and the H, a lot of people just kept calling me Nail at first. So
Hey,
they
Nail's a
couldn't see
pretty
the
cool
N
one.
and the Hale. They just kept saying Nail. So I had to put a dot there, and Ash is the first one to say it right.
Yeah, Twitter can get kind of confusing with the names. I will definitely say that, right?
Oh wait, we might
live with
have
our
a problem.
names. Sometimes it's hard to say them. Go for it.
Yo, we might have a problem. What's his name? Literally SLV in the comments. It just literally brought up a good point. He was like, "AT Aliens is the best. Is by far the best Outcast album," which I literally forgot about that. If anybody else listens to Outcast, literally they did have
Oh.
AT Aliens. So Atlians is literally probably spelled the exact same way.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I wonder.
Damn, that was such a good one too.
I like that one.
AT
Well, that's
Aliens was a dope album though.
we can keep brainstorming for sure. So definitely. Sutherland, I see you have your hand raised. What's up, friend?
Nothing, just wanted to tell you that I shared the perfect name for it via Twitter. I will send the bill to you guys later, so you can check that out afterwards.
I love it. Did you tag me in it so I can see it at least?
100%.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go find it. Let's see. So everybody go check out what Sutherland just posted. I don't know. I can't. Do you know what, Sutherland? Do you want to pin it to the top real quick? Did we just get rugged? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Everybody just got really quiet.
Yeah, it's weird.
So it's just us.
Yeah, another person just said that's the best name too. Star Atlians. But when it comes to that name, I think it's really good. I think it's the best that we've brought up so far. Uh, I mean, as far as we could call ourselves that, you know what I mean? It's just when it comes to like selling any type of product with that name on it. But I mean, that's what we would really have to dig into because obviously the AT Aliens is. But everybody says AT Aliens. It's not, you know what I mean? And it's
Right.
said a totally different way. You know what I mean?
So
Nobody
maybe
says Atlians album. You're kind of cutting out,
Oh,
Ash.
I am. I'm sorry. I
You're
think
good.
maybe Twitter's starting to wig out a little bit. We've been going for about, what, 2.5 hours?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't find it, Sutherland. I don't know. I was looking. But so, okay, I will definitely find that and take a peek. Yeah, I can't find it. That's weird. Okay. Well, I think we're going to head, unless is there anybody else? I think we've been going for 2.5 hours. I know that I have to go jump on and record my town hall for y'all. So is there anything that anybody had to, any closing thoughts or anything like that?
I love you all. Let's keep going hard, and yeah, man, follow everybody up here, support everybody, and let's just keep on being an adult, mature, phenomenal community like we are Star Atlas hashtag.
Absolutely. We do have one of the most incredible communities, and I'm just happy to be here with all of you guys. And I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will chat soon.